Let's do it.
Coming soon to this theater.
It's alive. It's moving. It's coming this way.
What is up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Horror Movie Club. The club where what do? We watch horror movies, of course. We always make sure that it's a movie that's not behind a paywall. And the link, there's a link in the description below that you can click on that will take you to a free-to-watch version of the movie. It's not only free to watch, but also, most importantly, uncensored. Because the last thing we would want to do is point you in the direction of edited versions of horror movies. Nobody needs that shit. Tonight we're talking about City of the Dead, also known as Horror Hotel, which is a horror film from 1959, although I think it was released here in the United States as Horror Hotel in 1960, starring Christopher Lee, produced by Milton Subotsky, the guy who went on to create Amicus Studios that produced so many classic British horror films during the same era as Hammer and Tygon, and well, it's a classic. It's an awesome movie. If for some reason you don't want to watch it on Tubi, you can also find it for free on the YouTubes. So go check that out. But first, before we get into the week in horror, before we get to City of the Dead, let me bring on my boy and your boy, Matt Butch Cleaver Burke. How are you doing, son?
What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
Hanging in there.
Awesome,
Hanging in
man.
there.
Hell yeah. Me too, man. Me too. Just fucking running with the ball, trying to score a touchdown every day, fucking.
Hell yeah.
Trying to kick some ass, make some comics, have some fun,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And Matt and me are working on something. It's a little top secret. It's a little top secret. Hopefully soon, maybe, you never know, have a little art or something will tickle your ass with a feather,
No, yeah.
But we got something going on, and I can't wait.
This movie might have a little something in common with it, a little something.
Yes. And I'm really looking forward to talking about this movie because it's pretty damn dope.
Yeah, it is.
Pops, how are you doing, son?
It's all action, brother. It's all action. I did not get a chance to watch this one, and I don't think it's in my memory anywhere. So
that's okay.
You guys are gonna have to talk me into watching it now.
well, normally Christopher Lee would be enough to get you across the finish line.
Yeah.
But let's face it, Christopher Lee has also been in a lot of trash.
You got somebody else in the back.
Oh yeah, we do. Somebody with, I have to say, the sexiest radio voice. And
I was gonna say, if he's just gonna look and see what the movie is and then leave again.
That's totally cool. What up, Dillard?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
How you doing?
What's going on?
Nice hat.
Thanks. It's non-denominational.
Exactly. That's what I said. Nice hat.
Nice way of putting it, brother.
If I'm gonna be sporting a logo and advertising somebody, I better be comped the hat.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's
I got a free hat from work right here, so this water's pretty good. So I'm like,
there you go,
right.
Free hats.
Nice.
Like, all right.
That's badass, dude. It's got a skull on it.
It's an Austrian water. It's called Liquid Death. All their shit's fucking what is it? Basically to metalheads and shit, which are like dads. so at Target and shit, and the OG cans look like Modelo Especials. They're fucking good though,
nice.
dude. Like, and the water's delicious, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, it tastes like velvet, dude. Like
Yeah, I
satin
heard.
water.
I saw an interesting program on Liquid Death. They were talking about how like their advertising campaigns, like people were saying, "Who the fuck is gonna buy a drink called Liquid Death?"
Right.
Everybody is.
Everybody that look, pretty much everything you buy is liquid death now.
You
So
want to laugh in the face of danger. You want to be a
ain't no
real
lie.
man.
What's his
That
head?
ain't no
Pizza
lie.
Medi. He had these hats where you could fucking like a Velcro thing. You could put patches on it. And I thought that was
Oh,
pretty
that's
dope,
smart.
dude. Like, say if I want to rock like a fucking different band or a fucking
well, yeah, he's got
superhero patch, from our
15 different
campaign,
titles.
When I
He
put the
sent you-
buckler on there, fucking one day, or Six Gun Gorilla or Crom or some shit.
Yeah, that's what I was
Pretty dope,
saying. He's like got all them different titles, so he sends you a
Yeah.
patch for every different title. You got Wolf and Batsy one day and Downcast the next day.
Well, I gotta say, like back in my punk rock and my goth days, you get ridiculed by a lot of normies for how you dressed, and I'd
Yeah.
be like, dude, you're wearing a Nike hat with that big swoosh sticker. You're wearing like a Jets jersey or some shit. You're covered in fucking logos. Do you own stock in any of those companies? Right?
NASCAR drivers, baby. We're all
Yeah.
NASCAR drivers.
It's like you're a walking billboard for all these companies that you have no stock in whatsoever, and you're making fun of me because I'm not wearing any fucking logos. Go after yourself. But yeah, no, I mean, if you're gonna rock shit, especially these days, the indie shit. Yeah, man. RJ, of course, love RJ to bits, man. Dillard, how is the campaign going for the buckler?
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
The campaign is stalled.
Not
No, I
married.
gotta go and redo some shit for my the Stripe, the bank account stuff. The information is lost. Now I gotta fucking re-put in more shit. So they're not even taking any actual campaigns contributions right now. So I gotta go and figure that shit up. It's a nightmare.
Oh God, sorry to hear it, man. Sorry to
Dealing
hear
with
it.
Stripe is a nightmare.
So,
Look,
Joe Ball.
Well, also, what up, Joe Ball? Good seeing you, man.
Romo.
What up, Romo Art? Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. We really do appreciate you. We know you could be watching 100,000 other things. You're hanging out. You're chilling with us. We do appreciate
You're
you.
right. I could be watching that. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Peace.
As soon as we tell him what the movie is, he's going to check out. on his name.
Yeah. Rather famously, we were doing a Train to Busan, and like Dillard hops on, and he's just like, "Oh man, this movie looks dope." I got like, "Oh, there's a link to watch it for free in the description." Bye.
I'm out.
And that's totally cool, man. Because what are we trying to do here? We're trying to turn people on to horror movies.
It's a testament to you, Brian. You hyped the
Actually-
movie so well.
Yes.
That's what happened.
That's what I was going to say. It was like actually, and it's actually a moment that stuck out in the show and has been relived and
Yeah,
talked
man.
about since then. So I mean, hey, when you do a lot of shows, there's only so many moments that stand out.
That's true. That's true. Speaking of things that stand out, look what I got in the mail yesterday. There we go. Check it out.
Oh, what?
Dead Stop from 6.5 Studios.
Nice.
Damn.
Yes. Dead Stop Tour of Terror. They actually sent me.
terror.
Yeah, man. And this is the die cut cover. Check this out. This is really fucking neat because it's kind of hard to see on a screen. But check this out.
Yeah, this is dope.
Nice. Love the
I can't
die
wait to
cut
read it,
covers.
Look at
Love that. That's
The
that's
border
our
horror.
Wolverine shit.
Yes. This is an anthology
Tour
of
of
border
terror.
horror, which is to say, horror stories that are set on the border of El Paso and Juarez, which is where a lot of our friends from 656 hail from. Absolutely beautiful black and white art.
Tour of terror.
Anybody who knows, a lot of people slept on this book, and what can I say? You snooze, you lose. 656, they're like the next big thing, and
I sleep on a big bed with my wife.
yeah, lots of good, gory horror. Sort of
Nice
easy
inkwash.
comic style, but definitely.
and taken from fucking lore from Juarez, like real stories. You know what I mean? A lot of them, a few of them are actually real like factual stories, but kind of juiced up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, this is a
terror.
This is a genre that they're defining, right? Border horror. That's to say that there hasn't been other outliers, right? Like we did that movie Savage Land.
Yeah.
That could definitely be put in the border horror category, but there's something really special that they're bringing to the table, something that's fresh, something that's new, that that you haven't seen 1,000 times before. Like one of the stories in here is called Latchkey Kid, which is about these kids that were basically left at home, who are the children of cops, who were then put on a hit list by the cartels. So they basically moved them and their wives to hotels, and the kids were just left home alone in their houses, pretty much to fend for themselves. And in this story, the little boy has a grandmother that's watching out for him. But yeah, unique stuff made with a lot of heart and energy.
Oh shit! What? I got my shit too, doggle style. Hell
oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
Dude.
Yeah!
Can't wait to read it.
Yeah,
got the fucking air conditioner too with the cherry.
Oh yeah!
Looks like fun.
Yeah. I got about halfway through it and love it so far. So yeah, everybody go check that out.
I got a little something too.
What you got?
So many books I got to read, man.
I know.
I got a little
Get some
something.
fucking beer, dude, and just check them out.
You guys do not just read
Carissa
the
launched-
books as they come in the mail?
Oh hell no!
Carissa launched
I wish.
Redemption number 5, and she sent me 1 through 5. So this one, or no, I'm sorry, this one is what you're ordering right now. This is what you're ordering right now. She already has them in hand. You're going to get your book.
Hell yeah!
Go Back Redemption.
Nice.
Worthy Chaos Redemption number 5.
Hell yeah!
Get them all!
Yeah,
Great
baby.
story, man. Great story. And I also got Forsaken Future from Doran Corkum.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
This is the guy that at the end of the show, at the end of all of our shows, where Reenie goes, "Good night, good night." He's the guy that goes, "Jazz hands, jazz hands." That's his book right there.
Oh, okay.
You know.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, some stuff that I ordered quite a while ago, and I mean, I ordered the Worthy Chaos back through the 1 through 3 campaign, but told her just hold on to them, and then 5 to read.
Oh yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Good stuff too. Real good stuff.
Real quick, just want to talk about Week in Horror. I actually did a lot of catching up. Watched Smile, which is good. I kind of avoided it at first because it seemed very generic, and it is. It's basically like an American version of Japanese horror movies.
Oh, okay.
Right, and there's a lot of Ringu in it.
That's what I was thinking. Sounds like that.
Right, but here's the thing: it's actually really well made.
Really?
Yeah. So it's you're not going to get anything special with that movie. You're not going to get anything original, but you're going to get something that's just very competently made, and also the lead actress in that is fantastic. But the one movie I really wanted to talk about that came out earlier this month is Subspecies 5. Let me see.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you gotta tell me about that shit, dude.
Oh yeah, because we watched the trailer for this, and I was not feeling very
Sold.
hopeful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was all about it though, dude. You know I
Yes.
was about that shit.
Yes. Matt was we watched the trailer. Matt was very, very enthusiastic about it. I was because look, in my defense, we're so used to being baited and switched these days, right? And I don't know. It looked to me like they were retconning his past where he was originally a human being and he gets turned into a vampire, because the whole subspecies thing is that they're half-breed vampires. They're vampires. They have one vampire parent and one human parent, right?
Yep.
And so that would blow the whole thing. And it turns out I was worried for nothing. I can't say that it's a great movie. I could say that if you are a subspecies fan, it's a real treat.
Was it what I thought it was, though? Was he playing his dad?
No.
Damn. Okay. I thought they were.
What happens is when the movie opens, you see Radu's mother, Mummy, from subspecies 2 and 3, giving birth to him, right?
Oh, shit.
And he's a little monster baby.
Right.
And some Crusaders come in and they try to kill her, which is impossible because she's like immortal, right? They run her through, but they basically pin her down long enough to get the baby and split. And what they do is they work some magic and some stuff to make Radu look human.
Oh shit!
And raise him as a human, and he's completely unaware of his vampiric lineage until one day, it's like he's a Crusader.
I was about to say, look like a Crusader.
Yeah,
that's dope.
And so he's like part of a sect of Crusaders who are they call themselves like demon hunters, but what they really are vampire slayers. And one day he ends up invading the home of his mother, who's a witch, and his father, who is, of course, a vampire. And they tell him like who he is and what he is, and split. And he ends up, I'm not gonna give the whole plot away.
Right.
But he ends up taking care of Denise Duff. She returns, playing a different character, who is basically, I guess you would say maybe Radu's stepmother.
Oh,
right?
Shit.
Because Radu's father has kidnapped her and has been graping her, and so she gives birth to Stefan, who is Radu's brother in subspecies 1.
Oh, okay.
And gets killed at the beginning of subspecies 2.
Yeah, the first part.
And but then it turns out that she's been vampirized herself, and she sort of brings back his vampiric nature.
Okay.
And so no retconning.
I'm excited. That's dope.
No retconning. And look, what do you when you tune into a subspecies movie, what are you looking for? You're looking for Anders Hove.
Yeah, yep.
Right.
Well, I like the fact that it's fucking medieval, or it's a Crusader movie. It's not in the modern times, right?
Well, no, it jumps around in time.
Oh shit! Okay, well that's cool.
Right?
That's dope.
So it's like he becomes a vampire, or rather, he fulfills his vampiric potential during the Dark Ages, but then it tracks him through time. And at one point, he runs into Ash the Music Lover and his sister. Now, if you've seen the Vampire Diaries and subspecies 4, then you'll know who Ash the Music Lover is.
Oh, so shit. Yeah, I got to go back and watch those. I only watched the first 2. I think someone was telling me or actually no, I just never got around to watching the third one. But I heard they weren't as good as the first and second one. 2
and 3, I think of those as one movie. They were shot back to back.
Okay,
that's the shit right there.
Damn,
right, that's the shit right there. And then the subspecies 4, I was like, okay, this is cool. This is something extra. I dig it. Vampire Diaries, pretty much the same thing, although you don't get any Radu Vladislas, right? But the Vampire Diaries takes place in that same universe.
Right.
And so this movie is full of, and I'm not talking about member berries. I'm talking about actual substantial things that expand the mythology.
Oh, that's cool.
And so when we first meet Anders Hove, he's like, no makeup. Obviously, he's aged a lot in the last 25 years.
Yeah, right.
But what happens is, as he goes through time, he starts looking more and more like the Radu that we know.
The vampire, the fucking ghoul, right?
Right, with the long fingers and the hideous face. A total monster, right? A total graveyard worm is how I would describe him.
Did it set up room for a potential sequel?
Oh, for sure. Well, look,
Depending
Radu's a vampire. It's it's the same law that you have with Dracula and the Hammer films, right?
Right.
At the beginning of every Hammer Dracula movie, Dracula comes back. At the end, he dies, and when he dies, he's gonna come back, right?
Always.
It's just like, okay, right, that motherfucker's dead for now. And that's one of the things that's fun about horror sequels as like a subgenre. And what's great too is when Anders Hove is playing Radu as a crusader, he's playing him totally straight. And then after he becomes a vampire,
full badass, then he starts having fun again, right?
Yeah, man. And what's great is that he, as he's progressing through time, he starts like here, for instance, you don't see him with any of the makeup, right?
Right. He just looks like
he starts doing all these like little crazy things with his face, right? All these like little mannerisms and things that make him more and more like Radu. He starts doing this shit with his eyes and starts making all these crazy faces.
What's it on right now? It's on Shadowbox
it's on Screambox.
Screambox? Okay.
Here's the thing. Screambox is doing a 7-day free trial right now.
Okay.
So you can go get the membership, right? I did it through Amazon Prime.
Oh, through Prime?
And so you can sign up and then within 7 days cancel your membership. So you can actually watch this for free without pirating it.
I got to point something out real quick. You check out all these Fund My Comics, all these different Fund My Comics popping up over here in the chat. And there's another one, Stephen B. Drop your link. There's yet another one. It's a movement, guys.
Yes. Luke built a canoe. Everybody grab an oar.
It's not a canoe anymore. It's a little bit bigger boat now.
We're gonna turn that motherfucker
for all of us on that canoe, bro.
Yeah, man. So everybody, click on those links. Check out those campaigns, and please remember, if you can't afford to back any of those books, I know I've been a broke ass bitch. I haven't been able to back much of anything lately, but I share the links, and trust me, sharing those links, it costs you nothing. It's virtually no effort. You literally just gotta go click, right? It makes a tremendous difference. It really does.
And that's why I give everybody a wrench in my chat that's a creator that has a campaign or a show or whatever, so that they can drop their links and everybody else popping through can see them.
Yep.
Yeah, and like now Twitter
is king in this, guys.
Blocks a lot of the links now more so than they did like even a year ago. I'm noticing that the word's not getting out as much. So kind of need to share out as much people's stuff. Like I'll go on there and just spam fucking YouTube. Usually like once a day. Like
just spam this show.
Yeah, I'll fucking do that. Like, okay, boom, boom, boom. If I see it,
yeah.
Usually once a day I try to do that if I can.
30 different Facebook groups. Just now. While I was sitting there with the camera off, that's what I was doing. I was sharing this thing out to every Facebook group that lets me share whatever network stuff we're doing to their group. And there's quite a few of them. There's probably more that would. I just ain't went out searching for any more, but I probably should because it's kind of my job.
Hey, man, look, you're all about promoting creators. Matt and I are comics creators. We're all about promoting our fellow comics creators. And this is as it should be. We should be a big family. This should be a movement, and this should be a cohesive one where we all back each other up.
Yeah,
and support each other, because heck, that's how life should be in general. But yeah, I just also want to share this real quick. Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay.
Look at that. Kill
Oh
journal.
shit, that's dope.
Kill journal.
I didn't see the other side. I just seen Finch's face. I didn't see the priest.
Yes.
So is he doing this? Is he doing this for every character?
I am not sure.
Okay.
I am not sure. This is going to contain the 6-page story that I wrote for the first Kill Journal, and
really?
it's going to have an 18-page brand new story
Dope.
that I wrote specifically for this. It's going to have like a foil cover and all this other stuff. Everybody, there's a sign up. I don't have it handy, unfortunately, right at this moment.
I'll wrangle it up. Give me a minute.
Okay. All right.
Some twatter surfing real quick. We'll find it.
Oh yeah. Well, it's just like, wait a second. I could just go to my own Facebooks and my own.
I'm excited, dude. I love the Kill Journal, bro. Like just the whole like look of it. Like it was leather bound, and you open it up, and it's an actual journal that the dude has, the father has in the book. You know.
Yes. It is really something cool, really something special. I'm excited to be a part of, something I'm very privileged to be a part of. And, of course, Adam is just a wonderful creator, a guy who is a lot of fun to work with. And what can I say? Then, of course, we got Abraxas coming out hopefully later this year.
Too.
Yeah. So... this is going to be a busy year for yours truly, but busy is good. Anyway, we should probably start talking about tonight's movie, which is, of course, City of the Dead, also known as Horror Hotel. That's how I first knew it. This was a movie that was made in 1959. Produced by Milton Subotsky. So if you think this is a Hammer movie, it's not. Subotsky was the guy who created what is basically like the sister studio to Hammer, which was Amicus.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Amicus was mainly they did single story films, but they're best known for their portmanteaus, their anthologies.
Okay.
And one of the things that's so great about those anthologies is not only are they really well made, really well directed, they're also very literate. That is to say, Subotsky was a guy that was very much in tune with like the great horror fiction that was being written at that time, and very much about hiring those writers to write for him. Or sometimes he would take actual stories and have the original authors adapt their own stories to fit movies like probably the most famous are Tales from the Crypt, the original Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, Torture Garden, The House That Dripped Blood. There's a Tales That Witness Madness, From Beyond the Grave. That's a really great one.
Mm-hmm.
But this was like right when he was dipping his toe into making horror movies. And what can I say? This one's a doozy. You can watch it for free clicking on the link below. You can also watch it for free on the YouTubes. Or if you're like, a freak like me, you maybe already own the Blu-ray of this, which is absolutely stunning. And this is just what can I say? This is a great looking movie.
Yeah, it actually feels like it's and some things you can tell it's like, the 60s are approaching with some of the jazz and stuff like that, But some of the scenes in there kind of felt modern, you know what I mean? Or like, wow, that's an old movie. They're doing that in there. I was really surprised. One thing I found interesting was just hearing Christopher Lee speaking in an American accent. You really don't hear that too much.
No.
I'm waiting for that, more English accent, and he's just speaking just like as a normal college professor, But he looked kind of like,
that would freak me out.
Looked kind of sus from the get. It's like, dude, like right in the beginning, you knew he was sus,
That would freak me out all by itself, man.
Burn,
yeah,
witch,
right.
Burn, witch, burn. Yeah, this was a movie that I never saw on TV as a kid. but I'd read about it in my monster magazines. And so I was curious to see it, and then I remember it came out on VHS, and I grabbed that shit immediately and fell in love with it. It was, of course, under the title Horror Hotel. This is probably my favorite poster that I could find for this movie.
300 years old.
Yeah, I mean,
It's pretty cool.
yeah, I mean, look at that. All these rotting faces, leering eyes, just like hovering over you, ready to drink your blood.
Kind of has like that EC feel to it a little bit, which I love.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Just the unapologetic green just right in your face. Cool.
Yeah, it's about as subtle as a sledgehammer.
Mm.
You know, as opposed to something like this, which is emphasizes atmosphere a little
That
bit.
fool's a badass.
Oh,
We'll
dude, we're gonna talk about that, man. We're gonna talk about that. He is a die-harder like my man Bruce Willis.
Yeah, right.
But I should also mention Bruce Willis is not my man. I just say that because that's what the Beastie Boys said in Paul's Boutique. So, yes.
This movie also reminded me of like a less like over the top, like roided out Silent Hill. I don't know if you ever played the games or watched the movie. I like the movies. I think those are like the best video game movies I've seen so far. The first one, second one, which was directed by the guy that did Solomon Kane.
Oh, that's right.
Right. Beset. And man, it kind of felt like Silent Hill, but without the cool big monsters and shit, but just more realistic, I would say. What happens in the beginning? I mean, what you're going to probably talk about right now. I didn't see that coming, bro. I was like, wow, she just straight up do that shit,
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to take a look at that scene. And this movie is in the public domain, so we probably won't get ganked for showing clips. But this opening shot, it looks almost exactly like the opening shot for Mario Bava's Black Sunday. And I just love this shot because you see one of the things you're going to get a lot of in this movie is mist.
Yeah, right. The atmosphere.
Fog.
A lot of Bernie in there. There's a lot of Bernie Wrightson scenes, like especially towards the end.
Yes.
I loved seeing the town, all the fog, and just you could tell it's Boston. You could tell it's like an old old witch town. You know what I mean? Specifically like Salem, very Salem.
Yep. Yeah, I mean basically that's what this is. It's the place is kind of like a stand-in for Salem, Massachusetts. But I believe, but of course they made up the town and gave it a name that is trying to remember
it's like Whitewater or something, like kind of basic, like okay, let's go there, like very like not off-putting sounding, like sounds like a summer retreat.
Well, it's like Lovecraft was the master of that, of creating fictitious places with like really realistic sounding names. Marvel could be good at that too, right? Like Wakanda, that sounds like a African country.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
And like
or
adamantium sounds like metal. Even
adamantium,
like
adamantium
sort of.
sounds legit. Latveria.
It does. It sounds like somewhere in Lithuania or something like that, or Romania.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just a combination of Latvia and Bavaria. And so the movie opens and we are in this village where they're having a good old-fashioned witch burning. And the witch that they're burning is Elizabeth Selwyn. And one of the things I love about this movie is that it kind of shows its hand with the villains very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Right? And there also is something that happens in the middle of this movie that actually predates Psycho. Right? And I'll get to it. I mean, we are going to be dropping spoilers because we're going to take a look at that ending because that ending is just boss.
Pretty metal, actually.
It's super metal. It's super metal. Yeah. So yeah, let's take a little.
It's like finish him. I wasn't expecting it.
It's getting closer, cool. Dude. Dude gets into a car crash.
Take some hits, dude.
Oh man, and it just keeps coming.
SideQuest. I just started watching. Sorry. I was gonna say I just started
Oh, go
watching
ahead.
The Old Man with Jeff Bridges. I'm on like episode 2. It's on FX. That fool,
Yeah.
it's pretty dope. I just wanted to say, check it out. You might like it. It's
Oh, I
got
will.
Lithgow and Bridges in it.
Oh man, I mean, Jeff Bridges is one of the greatest.
Yeah, action packed.
Yeah, watch him come out of the fog here. I just love this.
Silhouettes,
Yep.
and they start to materialize.
Yep. And this is one of those films that's mostly shot on a set.
The
And
best.
and there's something about movies that are shot entirely on sets or mostly on sets that create a real dreamlike feel.
Yeah, totally. More magical, dude.
Yes. More yeah. Well, yeah.
Bring out Elizabeth Selwyn.
Yeah, so you can tell that these people are like Puritans. They're
Like, you got a funny hat. They're like, haha, I'm gonna burn you. Oh fuck. I didn't mean that shit.
Yep.
Like,
there she is, Elizabeth Selwyn, our villain of the story.
Oh my god, that lady is 100% a witch.
yeah,
Right?
you can tell, dude.
You can tell.
Like, yeah, that's something like a witch.
Yeah, check this out. I just
Unapologetic, the whole beginning, right?
Yes. And
You got homie in the background, like, hell yeah. He's like, hell yeah, Satan. Fuck yeah, dude. Like, it's funny.
it is.
It's like,
And also all of like the villagers and their leering faces
oh yeah.
and the way that they're shot, and then of course just the way they talk, the way this woman goes, witch. She just really just like, works up to it.
She makes it as insulting sounding as possible.
The pronunciation, just lets it hang a little bit.
Burn,
Yeah,
burn, burn.
Yeah, it's just like a very exaggerated. And then these
Ew,
bitches,
those two are creepy now.
they're all creepy.
Yeah, they're all creepy.
Burn the witch!
Help me, Jethro. He's just like, I don't know that bitch.
What'd you say about my hat?
Jethro Kane, hast thou consorted with the witch Elizabeth Selwyn?
Not me, dog.
Come on, man. Everybody in town done her.
I may have.
Well, yeah, but I mean, look, he's thinking he's using tactics here, right?
Yeah.
If he says like, "No, that's my woman," they're gonna burn him too.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna roast him like a chicken. So he hangs back and starts working an incantation.
Yep. But people forget that witches are men too, Like, they don't really think about it,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the whole thing about witches, at least in the medieval.
Back then they knew
witch.
that, but like
Yeah.
people like people that watch TV and I'm just consumers, Like, I didn't know, I didn't even think about that until like I kind of studied the witch trials and stuff. I always thought like dudes were just had to be sorcerers or wizards, but they could also be like a witch,
Right, and witches, classical witches, derive their powers from Satan.
Yeah.
Right, with the witches' Sabbath, Walpurgisnacht, of course, all that stuff. They're all
Also,
about...
modern witches also derive their power from Satan.
Well, modern witches, or if you're talking about like Wiccans, they're like
Some of them do. There's just different
hippies.
There's
Yes.
different ones.
In Mother
I guess.
Earth now. It's all Mother
Also,
Earth.
lesbians, Satan.
lesbian. Romo Art says these early movies must have taken forever to film, with stopping and starting every time someone has any singular line. No, I mean, obviously you have setups, but also really
That's
good.
not
editing.
how Brian's actually pausing it. That's why it seems that way.
Jethro Kane, hast thou consorted with the witch Elizabeth Selwyn?
It's like, dude, can you have said that
He's like-
any quieter? Yeah, so of course they lash her to the stake. Yeah, and Romar, sorry about the starting and stopping. That's to like prevent us from getting yanked off of.
Who's got my haircut? Fuck that fool. Talking my style.
He beat your style? That ain't right.
Jocking me.
Ooh.
Elizabeth Selwyn, on this 3rd day of March, in the year of our Lord 1692, we, the people of Whitewood, Massachusetts,
Yeah, Whitewood.
condemn thee.
Yeah, that's the name of the place, Whitewood.
Thought it was whitewash.
Hey, you remembered more than I did.
It's just on the other side of the river from Salem.
Right.
May the flames cleanse thy soul of its evil, of its lust for blood, but may they bring about the death of Abigail Adams.
Yeah, so they start roasting her like a chicken, but Jethro has although he publicly denied her, he still has her back.
He's also publicly calling for Satan.
Yeah, but you notice he's doing this in such that they don't notice. Right? They're all focused on her. So while he's like basically praying,
Calling the storm. He's calling.
right. That's never a good sign.
The Dark Lord cometh.
Hear me! Hear me! I will do thy bidding for all eternity. For all eternity shall I practice the ritual of Black Mass. For all eternity shall I sacrifice unto thee. I give thee my soul. Take me into thy service.
Now, the witches in this are interesting because, yeah, they are kind of like medieval witches, but I also think of them as satanic vampires. Right? Because they're drinking blood in order to remain immortal.
That's true. That's true.
Earls, listen to thy servant. Grant her this back for all eternity, and I with her. And if we fail thee but once, you may do with our souls what you will.
Oh,
Are you gonna tell me the people around him didn't hear that either?
No, they're just all into. Keep in mind, public burnings, witch burnings, auto da fe's, that was entertainment back in the day.
Now you're telling me.
Some people would get so close. Some people would get so close to the flames to watch people burn alive that they would come away with their eyebrows and hair
Singed off.
scorched. Yeah,
I would have been there, like watching, eating the cabbage or whatever they eat back
Popcorn,
then.
baby.
Put some
Popcorn.
corn on her, like while it pops off her and shit.
Woo!
Catching it.
Kill the witch.
yes, and so
Praise Jesus.
and so then are immediately transported to the modern day, which of course then was 1959, and Christopher Lee is teaching a class. His character is named Professor Alan Driscoll, and I gotta see if I can get a clip of this because you kind of need to hear him go, "Burn, witch, burn, 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 burn."
This would be me off to the side. That would be me off to the side.
Yeah, with that haircut, you'd be up there with her.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, let's take a little.
All I'd have to do is put on one of them goofy hats. That'd be fine.
Whitefoot. Find out how.
Higher and higher. Burn.
Ooh, she's a
Nicolas
fox. Who's
Cage.
that?
Chose to attend these lectures. Of its lust for blood, but may they bring about the death of Abigail Adams.
Now I know what Nicolas Cage is gonna look like when he gets old and shriveled up.
And I love the close-ups of all these grotesque faces. It's just really well done.
I know, they got like
Burn,
one
wait,
guy,
burn.
all he has is like dentures. Like, take out your dentures, we're gonna do a close-up on you. You're gonna be like a monstrous visage.
Yep.
Which burn, burn, burn.
So shouted the people of Whitewood when they burned Elizabeth Selwyn in 1692. Those I
Twilight
say
Zone
known-
episode.
Actually, you're not that far off. You're not that far off, because this was originally supposed to be a film for television, or rather, it was supposed to be part of an anthology series that was going to be hosted by Boris Karloff.
That dude's hurting my neck with that.
Yeah.
That dude's hurting my neck. I don't know.
Grabbing neck.
Well, yeah. So
That's a
this
big
is-
stretch right there.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so he's a professor and he's teaching a class, but this is a very, very small class. So
Right,
these
right.
people are like graduate students. These are people who are really into presumably, I'm guessing, studying folklore and studying the occult aspect of folklore and satanic vampires, aka concubine. And not everybody is as enthusiastic about. Oh yeah, okay. Now I was referring to the long pause before the lady yelled witch, and maybe unrelated, but wasn't the girl in the Crucible also named Abigail? Forgive me if you've
Abigail
already
Williams,
covered
right?
that. Yes. No, yeah, you're correct. You're
It's
correct.
a metal band too. I remember.
Yes. Yep. You know what's funny? My character Abigail Malloy in Six Gun Gorilla, Six Gun's sister, his human sister. People just found it amusing. They were like, did you name her Abigail after like that King Diamond album? I was like, no, but I find that friggin' hilarious that you
cool.
thought that. So what happens is this young lady, of course, is really interested.
Oh, I got
And
the psycho
wants-
thing now. I got it.
Right? And this is let's see, Patricia Jessel. No, not Patricia Jessel is the actress who plays Elizabeth Selwyn, the one that we just saw burned at the cross. This is I believe Venetia Stevenson as Nan Barlow. And so the class ends, and her brother comes in, and he is, let's say, a bit of a skeptic about witchcraft and the occult. And he's like openly insulting about it. Certainly, it's a subject that's worthy of study. At the same time, just because you're studying it doesn't mean that you're actually actively fucking with it, if you know what I'm saying. Hey, what up, Sim?
Hill Sim.
There was a rumor that Christopher Lee had like one of the biggest occult libraries.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He said that was absolute rubbish.
Hmm.
He said that he was just like, well, where would I live where would I sleep in the bathtub? He's like, I wouldn't have room for that many books. And then he got a little bit serious, and he said, like, here's the thing about the occult: leave it alone. Like, don't actively mess with it, because you will not only lose your mind, you will lose your soul. So he personally saw the occult as something dangerous. I've always studied it as a subject with great fascination since I was a small child, and my mom was bringing books, because my mother was bringing books home from the library, and she knew I was into vampires and werewolves and witches and that sort of a thing. So I was reading like the Reverend Montague Summers, who was like the chief occultist, really, or occult scholar back in the day. And yeah, you couldn't pay me to touch a Ouija board.
Yeah, right. You know who would know if he had that big library would be his cousin, James Lee. He would know.
Oh yeah, for sure. What up, ID?
What up,
How you
ID?
doing, brother?
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
It's going well, man.
That's good.
How are you doing?
I'm just happy to get some time away from everything else.
Nice.
And Sim in the house. You sexy motherfucker, Sim. Good to see you, man.
It's packed, man.
Yeah,
What's
man.
up? Good to see you, Dillard. Good to see you, Pops. Good to see you, Butch.
You too, man.
And
hey, how's it going?
And then we have, of course, Tom Naylor, who plays Bill Maitland, and Bill is a Uber Chad. You don't know it yet, but he is a stud.
His name's Naylor, dude.
Yeah, man.
I know he's gonna nail her.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's dating his best friend's sister, but you know it's all good. Like there's a moment where he says like, "Hey,
Low-hanging fruit.
Can I talk to you?" And you never see that conversation, but you know what that conversation was, which was, "Hey, I'm dating your sister. I just want you to know, like, I'm really serious about her."
No, the conversation is, I only hung out with you because I wanted to get to your sister.
Pretty much.
Well, she is hot, man. She is hot. Venetia Stevenson was pretty damn fly.
Even if she's mid, that's the play.
Actually, the conversation was, dude, I ain't gonna have as much time for you because I'm gonna be spending some time with her.
We can't hang out anymore.
In some light, she looks like old school, like comic book, like Romita. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that.
In some shots, like that one, a little bit. There's more though, like where she looks very old school comic booky, with the big eyes and eyeshadow and
Yes. And keep in mind that when they were making these movies, when they were making these films, they were very, very familiar with EC comics. They were very familiar with horror comics. Absolutely.
You could fucking tell, dude. That's why what I liked most about the movie was actually just
she never made my grandmother's house robe look so good.
Well, yeah, and then of course, I had to take some extra screenshots where she gets in her underwear and check out those undies too. Man.
Imagine the amount of time it takes just to get into those, so you can get into whatever goes on top of them.
Yeah, man, I'll be more interested in getting.
It's almost like this woman gives a shit about her appearance.
Oh my god. That's good too.
Well said, Dillard. Well
Isn't
said.
That like no books have been written on her thighs or arms or nothing?
Look at that culo. Sorry, I'm
there
a
you
pervert. I'm a prevert. What can I say?
No, what I wouldn't say.
No, or rather, I should say I'm a male heterosexual.
Flaming.
Yeah, man.
With you.
Yeah. So, she decides to go, and she's a very serious student. She wants to go to the town and see if there's anything interesting that she can dig up. She wants to learn more about this subject and about this town. So Christopher Lee's character, the professor, writes down like some directions for her and tells her like, "Hey, this is the hotel you want to go to. Tell them that I sent you." And she has a very atmospheric drive. Now, one of the things I love about this scene, it's very, very moody.
Yeah.
Clearly, this is, not a real car. The background is like a rear projection thing, and it all works so beautifully. It all feels so dreamlike and also very comic booky. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the story. It's kind of like a perennial, like the Tale of the Hook, where you've got somebody's driving. They see a hitchhiker. They pick the hitchhiker up, and the hitchhiker's like, "Oh, I live down there. Like, can you just drop me off down there?" And then they arrive, and they turn, and there's nobody in the seat next to them. And then they go into the house and they knock on the door and they're like, "Oh yeah, like that's our daughter who like died like 8 years ago. She always does this."
Yeah, that's fucking terrifying, dude.
yeah, it is. So, yeah, I mean,
Ooh, I like that.
Right? And this is a movie that's filled with shots like this.
Yeah.
And so the hitchhiker turns out to be Jethro.
From the beginning, huh?
From the beginning, from like 1692, and he is still hanging out. So clearly,
he's like, Jethro, go hang out there.
Yeah.
Pick up some hitchhiker or hitchhiker your ass back to town. Bring us some dinner.
Yep. Although she's headed there anyway.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we come to the town itself, which is an absolutely fucking awesome set.
Thanks for the ride, lady.
Yeah, she arrives, and there's the church, which has seen better days because there are no parishioners. But there is a priest who takes care of it rather defiantly. That's another great shot.
Good shot.
Spooky, right? Like right. Let's take
There's a lot of smoke on the
right
ground.
shot every picture.
Was Canada on fire when they were filming this movie?
Oh man, I'm in New York right now. We're getting that shit again. Yeah, no, it really does.
We've had it for 3 days.
Yeah,
and it don't smell like wood smoke. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Thanks, Quebec. Thanks, Sim.
Thanks, Sim.
Yeah.
Going on that dodo butt on it.
Much love to our Quebecois friends, and you know, I know they're
yeah, and he's
they're,
like,
they're not
sorry,
yeah, they're not
sorry, eh?
Yeah. So yeah, she turns around and he is gone.
She's like, fuck it,
just like that.
Like, what was she thinking? You know, like in her head.
She thought she was gonna get someone. Now she's disappointed.
Did he just jump out the door or did he just slide out like a snake? Like, what happened?
Well, you know, I had a friend that was very good at disappearing like that. I also knew a guy that was very good at appearing.
Really?
That is to say, yes. Where suddenly,
it's like,
but this is not like bars.
Where the fuck you come from, man?
Right,
this is like a bars,
like Snoop Dogg and Half Baked just shows up on the steps.
Yeah, and this guy was creepy as fuck. He was just like not a cool person. And whenever I met him, it was always like you'd be hanging out with a bunch of people, and then you turn your head and he'd be there.
He like makes sure you can't hear him when he's walking up. He's like
ninja style.
Up
you gotta like look both ways before you go to talk about him because look to the left, look to the right.
Head around
you're gonna tell an ethnic joke because he might be there.
Yeah, man. So yeah, she goes to the hotel. It of course is spooky as hell, and it has a little plaque commemorating the burning for witchcraft of Elizabeth Selwyn. And then this young lady shows up, and she's a deaf mute, and you can tell she's trying to warn her, like, "Hey, maybe you should get out of here." And then we meet the proprietress, and who is it? It is of course Elizabeth Selwyn. So, it's like we already have our villains exposed. We already know that they're witches. And so, when Nan goes to her room, she discovers a trapdoor on the floor. And when she goes for a walk, this is a great scene too, where she goes for a walk through the town, and she talks to the priest that is basically holed up in the church. He doesn't have any parishioners there because the entire place, the entire town belongs to the devil. And anybody who lives there is down with Satan. And I just especially love this shot right here, where he tells her to go, and he basically melts into the shadows. I always found that really spooky. And then there are these bitches looking at her. They're like sizing her up like a fucking steak.
Oh, I don't think your screen you're showing it, Brian.
Oh, I'm not? Oh, dude. Now I feel like an idiot. Oh no, I see it.
Oh,
I see the stakes of the pickets on the fence.
Yeah.
Actually, I got to chime in here on Romo's comment. He said next time Canada lights up, hope it smells more like maple. I'm hoping that they light up British Columbia.
I was going to say.
Good to smell.
Why can't it be massive weed crops?
That's what I'm talking about. British Columbia,
like,
where all that good weed is. Go ahead and light that shit up.
Put maple in quotes, and everybody will know what you're talking about.
Go ahead and light that shit up in British Columbia. Yeah, just go ahead.
Yeah, man.
See what I'm saying? Everybody's grandmother had that coat.
This is a fact.
Robe. Yeah.
This is a fact. My grandmother.
Thanks for backing me up.
Yeah, and this is another great moment where there's a party going on, and you can see it's getting closer to midnight, and Elizabeth Selwyn tells her, like, hey, you should come to the party. And so she goes to get dressed, goes to get changed. Woohoo! And we get to see her in her very lovely undies. And she gets dressed and goes out, and suddenly, literally when she opens the door, the party has disappeared.
It's like, oh, what the fuck? Y'all left already? That was creepy, dude.
Yeah, very creepy.
This might be coming back to me. Did Mystery Science Theater 3000 do something on this movie?
No.
They didn't? Okay.
No. I remember the only good movie that they ever did was, and this was towards the end, was I think they did Danger Diabolic and Squirm. And that's kind of when you knew that it was over for MST.
They ran out of bad movies.
It seemed like they ran out of bad movies, and they started doing good ones. But
you're just going to offend your audience after that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just you're not going to get there's not as much low hanging fruit.
Yeah, nobody's going to say, "What do you mean Mega Force was bad?" No one's
like
going to say that.
Mega Force.
Sorry, keep going. I don't want to.
No, that's okay. Anybody jump in anytime. I get sick of just hearing myself talk. And so this is a great scene where she looks out the window and she sees a group of people in monks' cassocks.
One of the best shots in the film, right there. One of them.
One of the best shots. One of the best shots. And like I said, Milton Subotsky was somebody that was. And these filmmakers, they were very, very aware of horror comics at the time. And, I mean, remember, he was the first one that did a Tales from the Crypt movie and then a Vault of Horror.
Like, look at those branches right there. They had to hunt those down, put them in the frame.
Like hands with claws reaching out.
Yeah.
I like the way he's like the way he has the shot split, too, with the window. He's not doing it in thirds. He's kind of toying with the idea.
Yes.
In halves.
Yes.
Framing it perfectly.
This was directed by John Moxley. He didn't have that much of a distinguished career outside of this movie. He was mostly a TV director. And like I said, this was originally supposed to be a movie for television, but it ended up being turned into a feature. And a really, really good one. There's so many great spooky.
It's pretty quick, dude. It's only like an hour and like 15 minutes or some shit. It's it's like a solid, like a just a solid one shot. Yeah.
It does not wear out its welcome.
Nope.
Well, I mean, if it's supposed to be TV, or at least that's how it was planned, then they would have had to plan for the commercials.
Right. Although, of course. You like, for instance, like we did Ghost Watch last week. That was supposed to be the last episode of a 6-part series, and then they ended up just taking that and turning that into like a feature. So
you know what I mean? Like your average, Star Trek or whatever show is 45 minutes. Because when it was, broadcast, there would have been soap commercials and toy commercials or whatever.
Oh yeah, except
that's all I mean. Yeah.
Except with British television, you don't have commercial breaks every 15 or 20 minutes. You have commercial breaks between the programs.
Oh, yes. No kidding.
Yes. And yeah, so the structure is a little bit different. It's not
that makes me want to move.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's interesting because you think about like if you're a TV writer, you have to like have those beats specifically for like, okay, here's a commercial break. You got to have a little bit of a cliffhanger, right?
Story according to the commercial break.
Right. So like the structure is different. It's like we do comic books, and so that means you've got like 24, 26 pages or so. And now, of course, we can do whatever we want. We're not limited to that format. But I found being stuck in that format, it doesn't feel confining. It's always felt to me like something that just forces me to be more creative. Like I work really well with boundaries and structure, but not every artist does. But then again, I think that's one of the reasons also why we get so many friggin' 3-hour movies these days that really shouldn't be 3 hours long.
Sometimes you got to have rules, man.
Yes.
Well, yeah, the boundaries and the rules are what makes you think. You have to get creative to think of ways around them.
Yep.
If they weren't there, then oh man, the dog keeps barking.
Yeah, it's okay. We are a dog-friendly stream, but let's get to this scene because it is really quite interesting, and actually historically significant. Uh-oh. It's she found a dead bird in her drawer, and that's a sprig of I forget what the plant is. But
Hemlock?
No, and it's not wolfsbane or anything else that's cool like that. I forget the name of it, but it is clearly an indication that she has been marked. And so she could hear, obviously, that singing. There's a black mass going down. And remember also, she's a scholar. She's there to study. She's there to learn. Naturally, her curiosity gets the better of her. Yeah. Oh yeah, there she. Wait, hold on. We can watch her change. Such a favorite.
Good job, sound engineer.
Right? and the cobwebs are perfect. I hate fake-looking cobwebs. Those are really good quality cobwebs.
Jeez.
And she's a chick, so she doesn't have a problem with cobwebs. I think it was Vincent Price who pointed out that men are like very kind of like almost squeamish with with cobwebs. Like, don't like touching them. Women are just like, yeah, whatever.
Hey, I gotta get at it. I gotta actually download something, and it's not letting me because I'm online.
Okay, dude. Hey, man. Much love. Do you want to tell everybody where they can find you? And
yeah, you can find me on YouTube. That thing you're on right now, YouTube. If you go to a different channel called Dillard Draws and you subscribe, I'll love you forever.
Yeah, man. And everybody, go check out.
I can still feel the love. I've been subscribed for a while, and it just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah,
Nice.
baby. All right. Good seeing you, Dillard. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Right, thanks.
You got it.
See you guys later.
Peace. And everybody, go back the Buckler, or at the very least, go check it out. Watch the trailer. If you watch the trailer, you take a look at the book. I promise.
It's a good book.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I am very, very, very looking forward to getting that.
Hell yeah.
And Dillard is like one of the great sort of emerging talents in our scene.
He's
aight.
Is he iconic?
I don't know if he's iconic.
No,
It is better than aight.
No, that was That was right at Pops. That was like based on like the last one of his last tweets.
He's trying to stir up the drama that I'm probably.
No, man. Somebody threw the ammonia and the bleach in there, and it wasn't me. It's just like I was just asking.
I'm putting an end to it with that. See, I'm letting the fans decide.
Yeah,
I'm putting an end to it. I'm not trying to talk about it. I'm letting the fans.
You sent me on an image search. I'm studying. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
See, she's not only cute, Brian, but she's brave. I like that.
Oh no, yeah.
Is it brave? Exactly. Is it stupid or brave?
Well, it could be both.
Now she wishes she's in the room.
Right. Basically, she has just fallen into a trap. And they were using that curiosity. They were waiting for her to, open that trapdoor. Everything from the moment of her arrival has been by design.
Military. No, we're not letting you go. No, we will not let you go.
And there is the satanic coven, the witches' coven, which always consists of 13.
I can hear Bohemian Rhapsody in the background.
And now they're waiting for the hour of 13.
4, 5, 6, 7.
No, Mrs. no!
You people are creepy.
I am Elizabeth Selwyn.
No!
11.
Didn't you die?
12.
Pops, you don't have to keep talking over the clip just to avoid us getting yanked by YouTube.
Nice transition.
So, this is a movie where the heroine gets killed off at the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
Now, what other movie from this era do we know where that happens?
Yeah, Psycho, right?
Psycho.
Yeah, and for me, I didn't think that's what it was. I thought it was maybe the heroine was going off on like a quest to fucking basically die. You know what I mean? Like where she was, driving by herself, like Janet Leigh was,
Right.
Yeah, basically. I can't really think of. I don't know of any other movie. I'm sure there is, but I might be tripping. But that reminded me. She's blonde. There's just like a lot of similarities,
Now, I'm guessing this is just a guess. This was written by Subotsky, and he definitely had read Robert Bloch's novel Psycho. So it's possible that he got the idea from the novel, but I've never read that novel, so I can't say for sure.
Right.
But a startling similarity.
Very much so.
So
You're making me hungry.
yeah, sorry about that. I
just ate, but you're still.
I just had to jam something to my yam real quick. It's a nut bar.
Well, I'm not that hungry.
So her brother and her boyfriend are concerned because they haven't heard from her in 2 weeks. And then we get this little great scene where Christopher Lee is murdering a pigeon as part of like a satanic
Christopher
ritual.
Lee does love his horror movies.
Yeah, baby. Well, I mean, he's an actor that was made for horror films. There's certain actors that were just made for that genre. Barbara Steele, for instance, made for fucking horror. He and he and Peter Cushing, of course, made so many horror films together. If you look up Christopher Lee's IMDb, it's fucking ridiculous.
Just looking at it just no. Sorry, just looking at it. Who's who's the boyfriend? Is that Dennis Lotus, Richard Barlow?
That's no. Richard Barlow is Dennis Lotus plays Venetia Stevenson's brother. He's the brother, and Bill Maitland is the guy on the left here.
Okay.
Who you know
he looks familiar.
He really wasn't in much after this. I did look him up on the IMDb. He ended up being, I think, maybe in a couple of TV shows, and then he just kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
I think maybe he was a guy that, because I know he wasn't originally an actor. He was like more of a technical behind the scenes guy. So that could be where he went. But he's best remembered for this. Gregory Ghoulish, what up, brother? Thank you so much for hanging out. He says, I love most of his horror, but The Wicker Man is the shit.
Yes.
Yeah, The Wicker Man is actually Christopher Lee's favorite movie of his.
And it's funny, like another movie that, kind of reminds me of Nicolas Cage, being the modern Christopher Lee, he remade that.
Man, this is like,
that's not
at all.
Not the
It's gonna
beast.
look like when he gets all
punching that lady.
shriveled up.
It's funny.
He's gonna look just like Christopher Lee when he gets old and shriveled up. I promise.
Matt, did you see Renfield yet?
Not yet, man. Not yet. I'm probably gonna wait. Probably in a few more weeks. But
We're gonna
I'm
enjoy
definitely
that.
I'm just gonna get Peacock for free and just watch it. That's my thing. I like download the app, and then get rid of it.
Yeah, man. That is definitely like I said, I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would.
I'm sure I'm gonna like it a lot.
Oh, for sure.
Hey, I watched the Ghost Watch last week with the kid and the wife that they liked it. My daughter thought it was real, I was trying to tell her everyone watches it and they don't check out the disclaimer in the beginning,
How old is your daughter?
10.
Okay, that's an okay age, because a lot of parents, they're not sure if they're horror fiends. It's just okay, well, like how do I ease my kid into horror? And I've always thought it should be like sex education, right? Age appropriate. You don't hit them with the Serbian film. You don't hit them with Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh, hell
six.
No. Yeah, that is destroy him.
No, you start out with Universal horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
And then you move up to Hammer, and you just escalate. And then when they're 14, 15 years old, that's when you hit them with the hard shit.
But now too, there's a whole there's this whole YouTube ghost hunter thing, or just YouTube creepypastas. There's a lot of scary visuals online that they have now that we didn't have. That some stuff it looks like real ghosts basically on camera from some of these YouTube videos. So for a 9 or 10-year-old or a 4 or 5-year-old, 6 or 7-year-old, it's gonna fucking be pretty scary.
Oh, for sure. And it is interesting when you stop and think. One of the things I love about having friends of different ages, friends who are older than me, friends who are younger than me, is getting their perspective on seeing certain films at certain times, right? And what that was like. A friend of mine talking about going to see Dawn of the Dead in a theater. I had seen it in a drive-in.
I seen it in my living room. We all watched it, my whole family back in the day. It was me, my dad, my uncle, my grandpa, and my mom and my sister. We all watched it. It was pretty dope. The whole family thing.
Well, but I'm talking about when it first came out, right?
Oh, okay.
And the impression that left, where you've got the zombies biting plugs out of people, you got heads exploding, the machete kill,
apocalyptic
guts
too.
Everywhere, totally apocalyptic.
For me, I understood what an apocalypse was after that. That's the end of the world. That's what it could be like. After when I at a pretty young age when I saw it, I was probably 10 or some shit, maybe 79, 10. But just thinking that and just for me, what really clicked was the scene when their friend comes back to life and with the blonde hair, the guy that when the shroud, the veil comes down over his face, the sheet. that right there was like, damn, that's just death. Like that's the end of the world. Like that's what could happen. It just seemed so real.
And that's such a heartbreaking scene because Peter would rather just put a bullet through his head, but it's like his dying friend's last request.
Yeah.
And even though he's not in his right state of mind, he has to honor it.
Yeah.
And of course, it's just horrific. And he ends up having like the best zombie makeup in the entire film. What up, Maiden? Good to see you, darling.
How you doing?
She says, my son was upset when Sarah Connor crushed the Terminator when he was 3. Nice. You done raised your chillins up right, Maiden.
There you go.
Yeah, man. But yeah, like I said, like age-appropriate horror.
I love that. It almost sounds like an oxymoron, but it's not.
No, not
because
at all.
like when I like, you guys got to come in and see this, because like The Thing came out when I was 12, and all I cared about was the special effects. Sound effects were good, all the cicada noises and stuff. But I'm like, no, listen, because I had seen like the like how they made the movie and little commentary, and just like what you are doing, like what you do with this channel is, here's all the cool inside baseball stuff, which makes it not really a horror movie. It becomes an educational experience. This is how they made it. This is all. It took 50 gallons of mayonnaise to do this special effect.
Well, that's the thing that's always surprised me is, when people are just like, you're such a nice guy and you're all into horror. I'm just like, it's all latex and corn syrup with red food coloring.
I would beware of the nice guys that aren't into horror.
I don't. It's the
was
real
probably
shit.
12. It was probably 75. Probably 75 when my sister snuck me into my first horror movie, like legit horror movie. Last House on the Left.
Oh,
wow, that's legit.
That's the deep end right there, man.
Yeah.
She's like, learn to swim, bitch.
She's like, you want a horror movie? I'm gonna take you to a horror movie.
Oh my god!
It's that part at the beginning based on
because
a
it
true
had been out
story
for a couple of years. It was like at the midnight movies.
Right.
And she worked at the theater, and she just like just let me in, go sit and watch it. And it was like, yeah, that was a trippy one.
That's what our parents called, air quotes,
I was like
babysitting.
12 or 13.
Yeah.
12.
Okay, that's not that bad. bad. I think once you get to like 13, then you're kind of then you're
still pretty like whoa, but
See, for me, it was probably.
Did your parents pay her for babysitting you, and
No,
she also
but
got
for
paid
me,
by the hour to work there?
No, for me, it was probably more trying to get out the house at midnight.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And that was the only way I'd be able to was you know what I mean?
Yeah. You gotta think like a 12. Like
come on, man, let me go to a midnight movie. I want to see a good horror movie. Dawn,
I miss my sister. It's a family thing. You're all about family.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, But I mean,
that sounds great.
That was definitely. After that, it was like nothing was scary. After that, everything was funny because that was.
That is.
Yeah, I've never watched that movie and not felt like hollowed out.
Right. Yeah, totally, dude.
Yeah, that one was scary. But I didn't want to take the whole thing off track. I was just like, that was,
It's one of those trip movies,
Well, look.
Yeah, that was my first shot, It was like
that's heavy.
Maybe saw some like Dracula movies, black and white Dracula movies and stuff. Never, you know what I mean? Like the Wolfman, all the stuff that was on TV back then.
Universal,
yeah. I've seen those like Claude. I've seen like Claude Rains, like the Frankenstein. I love that. Like that's one of my dad's favorite movies. We watched that a lot. Yeah, we The Invisible Man was dope. I think I watched that once, but we always would watch the Abbott Costello Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. Like that was my jam. I always liked the Wolfman. He was my favorite.
Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. Oh my god! I remember like my mom going through the TV guide, and saying like I was sitting on the floor, and she goes, "Oh, Brian, Frankenstein meets the Frankenstein meets the Wolfman is going to be on." And I just remember like for some like dropping down and banging my head on the floor. I was just like, "Fuck yeah!"
That's cool.
Yeah, and then remember, I can't boom! I just remember for some reason I did that. I was so psyched. But yeah, no, I mean, I come from a time where you grew up and that shit was all over TV, right? And the biggest mistake that Universal ever made was taking those movies off of television.
Right? Yeah. I mean, no one's going to get it. Like, you keep it on television, then it's going to hit every generation, right? Make it accessible to them. Like, kind of put it out there where they're actually watching shit. You know?
Right.
Now it's a little different. I mean, you probably have to put it on at certain times, like certain loading screens. Like, we all have the loading screens when we put on the TV, right? When you're waiting for something where shit's just kind of chilling, right? Like for me, I put on my PlayStation and they're just showing ads for like Peter Pan and Avatar 2, you know? Well, in this case, we would have Abbott and Costello meet the Wolfman. That'd be the only way to do it instead of showing it on TV and reruns. You'd have to advertise it like on these loading screens.
Right. Gregory Gooley says, my introduction was before I can remember. I was an infant and was somehow in the room while my parents were watching The Thing. I'm guessing the remake by John Carpenter. When the dog's head split open, I started screaming, "The meat!" and would wake up for weeks after screaming, "The meat! The meat!"
Yeah. So they're supposed to be making a sequel to that, possibly, I heard, right? They're thinking about it, right?
For The Thing?
Yeah.
As long as it's a sequel and not a remake.
Yeah, as long as it's a sequel, I'm good. You know, I mean, you know.
I honestly didn't have that much of an issue with the prequel, except the CGI could have been better.
It was forgettable.
They didn't.
CGI, dude. The CGI was kind of off, because
the concept.
You go from Botine to that, it's like it took me right out of it.
Yes,
like, that's what took me out was the CGI. Like everything else,
they went
cool.
to the well, I know there were some practical effects in there, but when the idea that they found rejected bone screws and molars and things, that's something that was not explored in the first movie, and I was like, that's a great hook.
Well, dude, they lined everything.
You know what I mean?
Like, even the axe that got put into the wall and shit, they like show where the axe came from and why the axe was in the wall. They timed everything up pretty almost seamlessly. I didn't like how they fucking had the same title of movie. Should have been called something else either.
It could have been well,
it was so confusing. It was such bad marketing. You know?
Even if it was something like
Before
like
the thing,
those,
you know?
those crazy Swedes or something,
whatever. The Norwegians.
But I'll have an appreciation for a movie if they come up with a brilliant idea, and that one thing where there was non-organic matter not getting absorbed, that was great. I was like, I love that. It's great. That's a great core concept to go with. But when you have to advance the movie, so it's with the subtlety of a sledgehammer, they had the bad guy convince everybody that they should do the most dangerous stuff simply because they were there and they were famous, and it was all based off of his ego. And I hated that. Nobody in their right mind would do that. Everybody in the room should have been like, hey, you should shut up and sit down, because that thing, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, like, it is the greatest thing ever. It is the greatest thing ever. We are going to be famous and blah. Like, okay, everyone's going to follow this asshole.
Yeah, I mean, it felt to me like it couldn't decide whether it was a remake or a reboot or a prequel. It felt very half-assed.
The driving force behind them making all the bad decisions was half-assed. How they got the twisted face to work out was awesome. I thought the way that who was that kid that was from Dumb and Dumber, or the one that was supposed to be like, I thought he was really good.
Yeah,
and
pretty good.
You know, like what those images that you saw in the first movie and the way that they fit that together was good.
That's what I was talking about.
But the way that they wrote the motivations that got them there, that was ham-handed. That was where...
And the E.T. was kind of whack, I thought. Like, I like the more like... Because they show the monster. They show the thing in its primal form, which I kind of thought, took me out of it a little bit. So there was little things. I got to go back and watch it again, though. I only watched it once.
Yeah, I know. I do too. It is. It's like, I don't know. I feel like I need to dissect that. I was so invested in the original movie, so I was really invested in the prequel. Anything, if I'm following something from the moment I know that it's going to happen and I know that it's going to be good and I start following it, I start to get really, really, really critical. When I finally see it And I'm like,
yeah, it's one of the
that
best
should
movies
have
of all time,
happened.
dude.
Yeah,
It's like the
right.
prequel to
Yeah,
it, you know, so it's
exactly.
kinda-
You invested all of this time and energy even before you saw the movie because you were a fan of the people that were making it and all that stuff.
Yeah, you know, here's the thing. I remember very little about it, so it just didn't leave much of an impression. I
Yeah.
didn't hate it,
Right.
but it just was sort of one of those movies that just
Meh.
felt like it's just there.
Yeah, just meh.
Yeah, and of all the movies that shouldn't have felt like that.
Right.
Right.
I
But
wanna
remember,
give it
that
a
was
revision or rewatched again. I saw a picture online where they had like a dude where he was like ripped backwards. He was crawling around. Like I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool. I forgot all about that scene. You know, I just remember this kind of stringy like alien running around and like in the ship at the end, big CGI alien like ooh like
right. Look.
I don't like-
Meanwhile,
Make that voice again.
Meanwhile, the original, I mean, the John Carpenter adaptation of the thing, the scenes in that, the fucking head sprouting legs and running out of the room, you could see that only once and never forget it. There are images in that movie that you could see just once and never forget.
Chest burster, you know, and like the, you know,
oh my
and
god!
for me, the sound effect,
it's
like the pimp smack sound when the fucking when the thing is like grabbing the dog and ripping it apart, and you know when the tongue, like, you know what I'm talking. That
when I was a kid, Nickelodeon had a movie called a show called Lights, Camera, Action, hosted by Leonard Nimoy. And it was all about making movies.
Yes, I
and
remember
that was my first introduction to that movie. And I remember him talking to the special effects guys. And he said, and this is one of the great things, when you really tap into your talent and let them do whatever they want, because the nature of the monster was cell by cell.
Yes.
Carpenter said to his special effects guy, they're like, well, what are we supposed to do? And he goes, whatever is under your bed, I want you to do. And what a great way to put it.
Yes.
Whatever is under your bed. And I wish the people that made that prequel had heard that line.
Well, look, you're talking about one of the best horror movies ever made, one of the best science fiction films ever made. Top 10, right?
Yeah, definitely, dude.
And when you do a sequel to a movie like that, or a prequel or a remake, the bar has been set about as high as it can go. Now, you can go the way of what they did, which I thought was just very milquetoast, or you could go like something like 2010 and Odyssey 2, right? Where it's like, okay, this is a sequel to 2001. It's not 2001. You're not getting Stanley Kubrick.
You're getting Peter Hyams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're getting Peter Hyams. You're getting a really good filmmaker, but it's not trying to be the original movie, and it benefits from that.
It was so good.
Yes.
That's that's one of those movies that made me start paying attention. Well, that one and Running Scared, that's a guilty pleasure. I love
Running Scared.
Oh, you don't have to be. Oh no, that's genuinely good. I wouldn't consider that.
Same director.
You don't have to feel guilty.
No. Well, I guess guilty pleasure is the wrong way of putting it. Of all of the cop buddy movies that could have had a sequel, could have been easily written, you had those two guys, the two detectives in the Trans Am or the Camaro or whatever it was, thought they were hotter than shit.
Yes.
You had every reason to make a sequel. You had Key West, which is a great drug connection. You could have written the best sequel ever. And you didn't. Meanwhile, there's all these other movies that have sequels that don't deserve them. 3 and 4. Sequels that whatever.
I know.
But this is a horror movie. This is a horror movie show.
Yes. No, but we can talk about other shit too. We talk about comics all the time, certainly. But yeah, I did want to show.
Some of them remakes are horrors, whether they're horror movies or not.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. The horror movie network.
It's just, look, when it drives me crazy that like I have a millennial friend. He goes to, like, I would tell him, he knows how awesome the thing is. He always hears about it. What does he do? He goes to see the remake rather than watch the original. Right?
That's not the one movie you don't do that with.
Right.
You know?
RoboCop.
Oh, that's dude. No.
Dude. He goes and watches the remake.
Conan the Barbarian. No.
But it's like this younger generation, a lot of them, they can't if it's old, it's like they can't connect with it to them. Because I remember being on
ew, gross.
This answered a lot of questions for me. I was on a Facebook group that was horror related, and it was all like younger fans, and they're all about Eli Roth and all about Rob Zombie and the remakes. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to peace out. This is not the group for me. But before I go, I want to ask you a question in good faith, right? Not like, in an insulting way. Genuinely, I'm genuinely curious. Please educate me. Why do you watch the remakes instead of the originals? And they said, well, because it's the same thing, but better.
Yeah, it just shows how ignorant they are. You know what I mean?
My God!
Basically, that's ignorance, because you have to, how could you know it's better if you've never watched it? You know what I mean? You're just being ignorant and lazy.
They're
at
not
that point,
even curious.
Yeah,
they're not even curious about watching the original film. Now, I had seen the original version of The Thing before the John Carpenter version of The Thing. In fact, John Carpenter's version of The Thing is more famous than the original.
Yeah, most people don't even
know about. But they had so much. They had so much in common. One of the things about the John Carpenter thing in the original movie that I remember, and I was looking for this. I was looking for this because I had to see it in science fiction class as an elective. We watched the original Thing.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Great movie.
But the thing that I remember about both movies was, even though you only saw that, because there's a lot of characters in there for, for the runtime of a movie.
Yeah, lots of snappy dialogue. I mean, very
exactly.
Howard Hawks movie.
Each one of those characters was so well fleshed out.
Yes,
you know what I mean. There was, if you heard it on audio, you'd still be able to pick each one of them out as that's nulls, that's windows.
Yes, and here's the thing. Here's
Bennings,
dude. One of the things that I remember John Carpenter, just from reading about him, even before he made The Thing, he was asked, like, who's your greatest inspiration? And he said Howard Hawks.
Really?
Yeah, and Howard Hawks mostly made westerns. El Dorado is like one of the great classics, and that snappy dialogue, that pace that just always keeps the story moving, all of that stuff is in The Thing. The Howard Hawks version, but that's a great movie, and it's just a testament to the greatness of John Carpenter that his remake has overshadowed the original. Because I think a lot of people are afraid when these remakes come out, oh, now that's all that people are going to know. So when I talk about The Thing, they're going to think I'm talking about the one that was made in the 2000s. When I say Evil Dead, they're going to think about the one that was made in 2013. And I've had a lot of conversations with people where I'm like, wait a second, which movie are we talking about? Are we talking about the new one or the remake? I'm sorry, the old one or the remake? And they go blink, blink, blink. That was a remake. That was a remake.
Yeah, well, we've experienced that with music before too. Like the first time I heard "Dancing in the Streets" was the, Mick Jagger, David Bowie version. But the better version was the Van Halen version. But then you got to go way, way back to, Motown and oh, okay,
right. But there is a case where you have a classic song where it gets covered, and eventually the cover becomes sort of the definitive version.
If they make it their own,
they make it their own,
and that's one of the things. I guess that's what's missing from something like Conan the Barbarian. And I mean, in a way, I didn't hate the Jason Momoa version. I just don't think it had the same. It didn't grab onto my heart the way the original one did.
No, because the original was made with passion.
Because I really loved the original, and I remember watching the Momoa one. And I was like, "This is okay," but I love the
that's what I mean.
And then I watched it again, and I own it, and I watched it again, like a month ago. I was like, "Damn, I really hate this movie." I'm just like so
Marcus
disappointed.
Nispel, man, Marcus Nispel. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with that guy, because I know you like Pathfinder, but I hated that movie because I was like, okay, Vikings versus Native Americans, and the whole thing is shot so it looks like a Frazetta painting.
Yeah.
Why don't I have a rock hard erection? Why am I getting bored?
Right.
Why am I like? Wait a second. You couldn't make that work. What the fuck is wrong with
Sometimes it does, like the Sylvester Stallone Dread versus the Carl Urban Dread. Carl Urban Dread.
Yeah,
was the same guy that was in Pathfinder.
Yes.
And he's in a bunch of stuff.
Lord
I
of the
mean,
Rings.
honestly,
Shit.
Love that dude. Love that dude.
Sometimes they get it right, and I don't know. Whatever.
Well, to me, it's about the passion, whether or not, like, Alejandro Jodorowsky said, when he was asked about Santa Sangre by a journalist at the Cannes Film Festival, right? Santa Sangre had just premiered. This is like 1989, I think, something like that. And the journalist asked him, like, what's your approach to filmmaking? And he said, most directors direct with their eyes. I direct with my balls. To me, there's nothing worse than having these films where they're bloodless, they're anemic. Where is the director? Right?
Yeah.
Where is the director? They have no soul. And
there's no fight. There's no competition. And say what you want about the way these movies are, but like in the Bohemian Rhapsody, there's a line where Freddie Mercury is saying the reason why his solo album didn't work is because everybody was saying yes. Everybody that he was working with was not opposing him. Okay. And there was no fight. There was no passion, all of that. And that's one of the reasons why The Phantom Menace turned out the way it did.
Dude.
George Lucas came out with a first draft. Everybody was like, okay, great. You're George Lucas. We can't say no. We can't oppose you. And if there wasn't that kind of tension, then
I like
that's why
That's my favorite one.
The Phantom Menace?
Fuck yeah. Has the best score too.
Out of all of them or out of the prequels?
Out of all of them. And I like the fucking Darth Maul's badass. I like Qui-Gon Jinn. I like all that shit. But the thing is, I wasn't there at the birth of the fucking first movie where special effects were created, like badass special effects.
Saw that
not even that.
Saw that in the theater, man. When I was a little kid, I just remember watching the trailer on TV and thinking, "Oh my god, it's a werewolf in a spaceship! Mommy, take me to see that."
Right? Jar Jar Binks sucks. He's like the Keanu Reeves of fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula in that movie.
Here's the
there's
thing.
a lot of problems with it, but yeah, I fucking definitely love that one the most.
I don't care for any of the prequels, but that's the best of the prequels. It's still, however, because this is the thing that a lot of people weren't thinking about was, this is how I saw it. This wasn't the return of Star Wars. This was the return of George Lucas, who hadn't directed a single film since Star Wars.
He hadn't written one either, I don't think.
No.
Right. So when you come out with the first
this is the
draft,
return of like a great filmmaker that hasn't made, this guy who made this incredible film, who hasn't made a movie for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then like, this guy's coming back. That's exciting. Richard Stanley returning for Color Out of Space. That was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And or David Cronenberg coming out with another real David Cronenberg movie.
I got to see that.
Exciting.
Crimes of the Future.
He was used to that, though. I mean, David Cronenberg. That's
good, but not great.
You watch a Mr. Plinkett's critique on the Phantom Menace, you'll understand what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
I'm sure there's a bunch, and I like the second. I like part 2 clones. I like Darth Tyrannus. I like Christopher Lee in there. Like, there's little stupid shit I like about it. I like I like Jango Fett. For me, it's like visual stuff.
It's the same thing with like that second Conan movie. There are moments of brilliance, but it's not tied together.
I like that movie. I really do. But the only thing that's wrong with Conan the Destroyer is that it's such a change.
Not the Destroyer. I don't mean that one. I mean
talking about the remake with Momoa.
Oh, the remake. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just like
it has it.
Well,
it
right
has,
off the bat, you've got this world, Hyboria, which is a close second to Middle Earth in terms of world building, right?
Yeah, right.
I know the geography. I've read the books. I've looked at that map 1,000 times.
Right.
And the movie opens up with a geography lesson, and it's a completely fucking different world.
Right.
You stupid fucks. right off the bat, you're making a mission statement that we're going to take the Robert E. Howard world and we're just going to throw that out and make our own.
Yeah, and it's
Go
and
fuck
then they're
yourselves.
Like, they have all these cities like in there, like they're going and traveling there, but it's not even fucking put right on the map and shit. Like they're kind of
the original, the John Milius Conan that made you feel like you were in Hyboria.
Oh yeah, it definitely felt like lived in. You know what I mean? Like 'cause they were like they built villages and things like that. There wasn't so much CGI. It just felt fake, dude. Like they built a big snake. You know what I mean?
Oh my god! Everything.
It wasn't a lot like. I mean, he wasn't the noble savage in there really too much. You know, he was kind of.
But that's what I mean. Like the original one was brilliant, and I would rather have the entire thing because it's not. It's sort of like like when you're drawing a panel that has to have good composition, but then it has to be composed within the page. Movie. And I'm not saying that I'm good at this. I'm just saying I understand the concept. And then those two pages have to work well together so that you turn the page to the next and then do it over again. And then the whole book has to work together.
Yes.
In that movie, in that second movie, or the Jason Momoa version, he doesn't look like a bad Conan, although his hair is wrong.
Oh, totally.
Okay.
Totally. Yeah.
Definitely not the
right, but he
Conan
looks
hair.
That's right. No, well, because like the whole reason why you have that squared off hair is because the only reason a barbarian cuts his hair is so that he can see.
He can see, yeah, and it's fucked up.
And that's why you have that
blue contact lenses either.
Right.
Yeah.
So little details like that, like matter. I didn't think the choreography was terrible.
No, I thought it was pretty cool.
Brilliant.
I thought he acted
Japanese
the part.
sword masters. They actually brought in a Japanese sword master to train the actors how to use a fucking sword. And in that movie, when they're swinging their swords, you could tell they know how to fucking use a fucking sword.
Right. And so there's
Bergman was really good.
The making of that movie is legendary. It was a war. People got hurt.
Yeah.
It was every time that John Milius went into an office to talk to Dino De Laurentiis, the producer, he brought with him a picture of Mussolini and would just put it on the table in front of him and say, "When you're talking to me, look at that."
Funny, dude. That's Milius, though, man. John Milius was one of a kind, for crying out loud.
One of a kind.
Don't get it wrong, like it's not really the Conan from the books, you know what I mean? But it's a fucking solid movie, you know what I mean? That's what I like about it.
It captures the spirit of Robert E. Howard.
Totally, dude. Yeah. And there's still, I don't think we still haven't got it yet, obviously, right?
No,
we haven't got the definitive Conan movie.
No,
you know?
No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
But that's the thing. Like if in that, I'm not trying to defend it, but in the Momoa version, because there are those stories where Conan is on a boat where he like takes over.
He's a pirate.
As a pirate takes over the boat, and I like that he's got that pirate buddy. It's like that in the Count of Monte Cristo. Yeah, he has that pirate buddy. There are those stories where Conan's on a ship, on a pirate ship, and we get
that's the question is
into that.
Right. If the question is if you're gonna do Conan, where do you start? Because the whole thing about the Conan stories is they're told out of sequence.
Yeah.
Because Robert E. Howard was inspired by these like old sailors that he would drink with at the local saloon. And he would listen to their stories, and they wouldn't tell their life story in a linear fashion. Right?
Oh, sure. I remember this one time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Robert E. Howard said it was like Conan was in the room with them and just fucking telling him what happened.
Yeah.
With the
so like the story will open up. He's just like, so I found myself nailed to a cross.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. This is when this is my first year being king of Aquilonia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And there's one story that I have left on I was like 36 of them. I found a really great Audible collection of all that stuff.
Oh, I'm such a Robert E. Howard fan.
It actually looks like this scene here, where he would be right here. Conan would be busting in on this scene right
absolutely, and fucking put these fucking
in the background too, coming up behind him.
Unless she was wearing that grandma coat. If she was wearing the grandma coat, then he'd be like, yeah, no.
Well, you see, that's the other thing about Conan is that he's very misunderstood, and that people just think that he's just like this badass without a code, and he has a major code.
Right.
Oh, sure.
There's a moment, like to me, the definitive Conan moment is where there's like a bridge in this like ancient city that he's discovered, right? Because he's always discovering ancient like lost civilizations. There's a cask of treasure, a treasure chest overflowing with enough shit to make him a king 10 times over. It's teetering on the brink on one side, and on the other side, there's this chick best described as a floozy that's hanging by her hands.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't, and Howard makes a point to say he doesn't take a moment to think about it. He goes for the girl.
Yeah.
And then the treasure gets lost, and she's like, well, you lost all that treasure. He's just like, fuck it. Easy come, easy go. That's Conan.
Yeah, totally. And he's 100% against like technology, you know, and
well, he's
noble savage, you know.
He's afraid of magic.
Yeah, I was going to say magic is if by technology you mean magic, then yeah.
And some of the gears and things like that, and wheels and all that shit, magic, sorcery. He hates sorcery, you know.
Yeah, and in some of the stories, when he's presented with a particular monster, he just fucking runs.
Yeah.
You know,
it's all about survival, dude, and going for beast when you got to, you know.
You gotta.
But totally the noble savage.
Know when to show him, know when to fold him.
Right.
Know when to walk away, know when to run.
Like I always say, you don't have to be religious to be a good person, but you have to have a code.
Yeah.
Everybody has to have a code. And he has
Omar from The Wire had a code. You got to have a code.
Yeah, man. Omar was the shit. Omar coming.
Omar coming.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Michael Kevin Williams.
Yeah. Hey yo.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Yeah. It sucks that he died. But anyway, let's watch the ending to this. Yeah, Conan would totally fucking come running in and hacking these bitches to bits.
Come on, Pat.
That doesn't.
Call me Kane.
Right. Okay. We have to talk about what a fucking badass Bill is in this.
Oh yeah, totally, dude.
So Bill has been in a fucking car wreck. He gets into a car wreck, a burning car wreck, right? And he's all here it is right here. And this is actually kind of a cool moment. Check this out.
You heading for White?
It looked like a gas fireplace.
Okay, fine. Thanks very much.
Right. So he's driving through the woods, and suddenly he sees like a image of Elizabeth Selwyn burning at the cross and laughing.
Oh wow!
Jazz
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like two composers that worked on this. One guy did the general score, and then they actually had like a jazz guy do like the.
I don't know. What do you like to listen to while you're driving? I don't know. What do you like to listen to while you're driving?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
What up, good stuff? Hey man, long time no see. I love the good stuffs. He's like. I love that because he like squints his eyes like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I'd be squinting my eyes already. He's driving through Canada smoke. Oh, that was
huge bitch.
You're a bit drunk?
That's like
that's okay. I'm a bit high.
Like, how many?
No, he's saying he's drunk.
How many
Get your drink on, man. Get your drink on. Just remember to hydrate, man. Just remember to hydrate. Remember, for every drink, one like glass of water. You'll be all right. So check this out. He's just been in a fucking terrible car wreck. He is toe up.
Yeah, he has to get out of that car like he's on the monkey bars.
Yeah, and he faints.
Falls asleep on a bush.
Right. Well, no, he doesn't. No falling asleep. He loses consciousness.
Yeah.
Right. So he's all banged up, and does he ever come correct in this climax? Check this out.
Hey,
to a cross! A cross! A shadow of a cross!
And such great horror imagery here.
Right. Favorite part right here.
Yeah, everybody. Just so you know, spoilers. Remember, if you want to watch this movie, link down below. But yeah, check this out. Oh, fucking Elizabeth Selwyn, that fucking bitch, fucking throws a fucking dagger in his back. And you remember the 13th hour, right? There's a specific moment and the sacrifice has to be made.
I miss Keith.
Yeah, good stuff. Give Lady Good Stuff our love.
She's there.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's Mrs. Good Stuff. Hey, much love to you.
Man, he's missing all the important keys.
Is that Igor?
Oh my god!
Check this out. So, Bill.
Oh, I love
down.
the hand coming out of the ground, man. That's awesome. What a great shot!
Right? Like, because it looked like Bill bit it hard there, but he's a die-harder. Check this out.
Dick, he's moving.
I got you.
Lift the cross!
Don't trip.
So he's been in a car wreck. He's got a dagger in his back, and he's just like climbing up this cross.
Quick.
Right now they're going to use like a pocket knife to kill this poor woman.
Plain style, baby.
I'm jersey by the living God!
Awesome.
Fucking metal,
awesome.
dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I remember the first. That's one of the things that I love about this movie. The
he like
the
turns to the
climax is
side.
fucking
He's got the
badass.
knife sticking out of
That's
his
the
back.
cover right there, bro. That's the cover. Like if I was drawing the cover, that'd be it. Him shooting the fucker with a cross, the knife in his back.
Yep.
Good framing.
And evidently, it's not the cross; it's the shadow of the cross.
Back to the cross! Come nearer, Bill! Get the shadow of him! It comes nearer.
We won't run away.
Fail. We must finish the sacrifice.
We must stay here and talk about it.
It's dead!
Wait for the hour of 13.
Like I said, it's the hour of 13.
Oh
It's
yeah, there's a few a few
it's a
things
technicality.
I need to cross out.
Yeah, it's a technicality when it comes to like being a satanic vampire. And we got some fucking badass fire stunts here. And
Yeah, really.
I don't ever recall seeing a fire stunt in a movie that's older than this. I'm not saying this is the first movie with a fire stunt.
Yeah.
I just can't recall a movie before this that had a fire stunt in it.
They were pushing it on this movie, dude. A lot of levels, I think.
Yeah, I would like to remind the audience that God answers prayers at any time of the day. You're only able to get your prayers answered by Satan at the 13th hour at this day of the year while the moon is in whatever and the planets are lined up this way.
Yeah, you got to get that shit on point. Hey, man, what up, Forest Publishing?
What's up, Chris?
Yeah, I think we were talking about you before. And what up, Chris?
We were all just the good stuff.
We're
only talking about the good stuff.
No, we were talking about Matt brought up Richard's new stuff coming out, and the new show. That's what it was. The new show that Richard's been doing. That's how we got on the conversation of Richard.
Oh hell yeah! Well, I mean, now that my life's looks like it's getting in order, I'm going to be able to watch a lot more of that shit.
And make sure, Richard, that you share that to the madness when you're playing that show, bro, so that we catch it.
Yeah, Blood and the Sword is his book, so it's coming to fund my comic.
This guy.
Oh,
this guy.
Yeah.
Remember, anybody that wants to come on here to promote your book, please invite yourselves. Be rude about it. Just hit
For
us
those
up
of you who
and,
don't know this guy, this is Sim's partner on, during the day when they do their shill shows and review shows and
when I'm
entertainment,
sleeping. Yeah, man. Yeah. They do the morning roast. And and definitely check that out. That's always a great stream.
Roast.
I don't catch it as often as I should. I've been sleeping on a lot of shit. Although now that we're doing Thursday nights instead of Saturdays, at least I'm not stepping on the stream that Sim always does, which is what is it, Draw and Chill or something like that.
Okay, so is this a consistent thing? I was picking up some stuff from the DMs. I didn't know if it was going to be like
Doodle and Chill.
Doodle and Chill. Thank you. Chill. Yeah, man. Because I don't want to be stepping on my boy or anybody else, but
that's hard to do, man. There's a lot of people out there, and there's only so much time in the day. We don't have those metric days.
Yeah,
100 hours.
No, we sure don't.
So
Bill has been fucked up. Bill has been
every Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So Bill has been in a car wreck and had a dagger thrown into his back, and now he's fucking roasting these bitches like chickens.
Think so.
That's good. Don't land on it.
My point
I'd love to see a remake of this, dude, with everything that's in there. You don't need to, but it could be pretty dope.
all I'm saying
After that whole conversation about how much remakes suck.
No, I know, but I just I would like to see even more. You know what I mean?
Bill is a fucking badass. What a fucking Giga Chad, man. Giga Chad.
No, that's a wingman. That is the wing of wingest men.
He went out like a soldier. Like a fucking soldier.
Look at Maiden Hell. Quick, put him on the fire.
What up, Oliver? Hell.
What up, Ali?
Oh, Oliver, what's up, man?
Oh yeah, man. Check out what I got in the mail.
Hell yeah, I just got mine too.
Zoinks.
They sent me 2 copies. I don't know if that was a mistake or not. If it's I
got 2 also, baby.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Are they sending all of us doubles?
I don't know.
I don't know, but you know what? I'm gonna pass my extra on to somebody else.
Yeah, me
because
too.
like to me, it's like you get extra books. It's just like that's always awesome. Actually, that's how I discovered 656 was Preston sent me an extra copy that he had.
Twice.
Oh yeah, I must have backed it twice too.
Okay, good.
One for the forefinger, one for the pinky.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, because to me, it's always great. Like I said, like Preston was read. It was Undead Border.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that book.
And so do I. But I didn't back it. Why? Because I was like, gee, another zombie comic. Yeah, we really need another one of those. And so I hear from Preston. He's like, I'll send you my extra copy because I really think you should check this out. Like, I think you're really, really going to like this. Mm-hmm. And so I did. And, he sent it to me. I read it and I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
This is so
the one thing I got from that book was that it's a zombie comic, yes, but it's different down here.
Oh, dude.
That's what I loved about that.
It's fresh.
It's just
and original.
Not the same south of the border.
No.
And it was like, it's sure, we have Taco Tuesday. That's great. But down here, it's real Mexican food. So that was like the big difference. Oh, yeah, sure. It's a zombie thing. But down here, it's different.
Right. As opposed to Tex-Mex. Because what most Americans think of as Mexican food is Tex-Mex. Mind you, I love me some fucking Tex-Mex.
Right. Yeah.
But it's just a thing. Like, because we have an authentic Mexican restaurant around here that is fucking amazing. Mm. And I love Mexican food. The only thing that's better than Mexican food is like Japanese food.
Yeah, I love Mexican.
I was going to say Chinese food, but
I'm trying to get some Filipino food right now.
Oh, Filipino food's good shit.
Ponce,
I got a
yeah, I'm gonna try to get some of
suggestion
that.
what you can do with that extra copy, Brian.
What? Send it your way? Oh, you don't got it? Okay, no, I'll send it to you.
I might have said the same thing,
No,
but I
that's
didn't
cool.
want to admit. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna be on stream going. I didn't back it. You can do that if you want to.
No, see, this is the whole thing. Everybody knows that I'm trying not to spend money right now, and I'm trying to save money for the move. And it's like, bunch of stuff that I missed out on. And hell yeah, I ain't too proud to ask for a buck.
No,
fuck that. Look, if you're gonna go for that, if you're gonna do it, then I'm gonna say, hey, Matt.
Well, I just said. Basically, it's like, yo, I got 2 copies. I got an extra copy. I'm willing and ready to part with. So if you're like, yo, shit that my way, that's cool. You got dibs, pops.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Yeah, man. But also, when I send it to you, I know you're gonna then be like, yo, everybody, check this out. You know.
And really, it's like it seems like every time 656 releases a book, it's during a time when I'm broke as shit. Because I missed out on the first Cryptid Knows. It's like someday I might have a little chunk of money. I'm gonna go get everything they did.
Yeah, man.
You know.
I also have not been backing many books at all, and that's the reason why. Right there, that's $14,000 worth of shit, literal.
Oh, dude!
I had to
septic hell.
Yeah. I was like, I was so good to go. I was like, I've got it all planned out. I know how much I can spend. I know how much I can recoup at the end of the year and stuff. And that's all great. And then that happened, and I stopped backing books. And not all of them, but I stopped backing. I had to be real selective.
Oh yeah, well, I'm still a broke ass bitch, but I'm about to not be a broke ass bitch.
Word,
right?
You gotta get your ass over here, man. We got low taxes in Washington County.
Yeah, I'm looking. You know where I was looking? I was looking in Monroeville. Dude.
That's I think Monroeville is going to be not Greene County, Monroe County.
Yeah, I mean, but
I know, I know how many. I know exactly how many bridges and tunnels it takes to get to you there,
dude. It's just like I mean, that to me is Mecca.
I know it is. I know.
Brian's over there like they gotta have legal weed, bro.
It's not just that.
I think Pennsylvania's chill.
That Monroeville Mall, if it's anything like the Century 3 Mall, is going to be just as dead as that. It's just as dead as the zombies walking around in it.
Well, what I'm hoping, of course, is that's like Elon Musk or somebody with his kind of money will buy it and restore it and make it look like an exact replica of the way it looked in Dawn of the Dead.
Hey, if there's a profit behind it, sure.
Dude,
we could crowdfund it.
A museum.
We could crowdfund it.
Crowdfund the Monroeville Mall.
We could crowdfund the money to fucking rebuild it, dude.
And then I would pay people to paint their faces blue and wander around.
Dude.
Well, no, they have zombie walks and stuff like that down here. But
yeah, because Ollie's like, show off the die cut. Yeah, we did this before, dude. We did this at the beginning of the stream. How fucking cool is that? I never thought of it.
I got one. You don't.
You know what's cool about that? You guys remember Wolverine 50 that had the die cut with the claws?
Yeah, I got it. The classified one. Yeah, I got that.
We got the box too.
Oh, really?
The comic box that has the claws that's cut out. It's
that's cool. I love die cuts.
When did that come in,
dude?
When did that book come in?
50. That was a long time ago.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, like the Dead Stop. When did that come?
Today. It just got here
today.
Like
a couple hours ago. Yeah.
Okay, hold on, because I got something in the mail today. I literally. Oh my god.
But yeah, check that out, people.
Hey, wait, no, it's even better than that. Wait.
He's got one too. That's what he's trying to say.
I guess I backed it and forgot.
He got his too. That's what he's trying to say.
Oops.
Oh,
yeah. Shit. Hey, don't send that out. Don't send that out, Matt. I'm good to go.
That's the other thing about 656 is you're going to get your book
here. I saw. I was looking at the. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the return address says it all. Dominic.
The fact that these dudes aren't like fucking rock stars is to me baffling.
They're like surgical
Kind
with
of
their
are
fucking
rock stars. They
fulfillment,
just ain't toured the whole nation yet.
It's like when their book's done and they're like, all right, we're gonna fulfill it. Like they like do it within like they're pretty much like the next day, and then like they knock out their fucking fulfillment pretty quick. And you get it.
There is one thing I'm butthurt over, though. There is one thing I'm very butthurt over, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Now we are planning on doing a 6-gun gorilla, a man dog crossover.
Right.
Sounds sick.
Which would be dope as fuck.
Yeah.
And because we were discussing like, well, which world are we going to set this in? Whose world are we going to set this in?
Oh, yeah.
And we both were thinking the Cryptidnals world.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would totally go in the Cryptidnals world
for sure. Right? Let's go fucking full
so
horror.
Yeah, I would go full horror, dude. Yeah.
Yes.
Because yours is more realistic, I would say. You know what I mean? For the most part, it leans a little bit. It tiptoes into different places, but
I'm excited as fuck. Like we haven't started working on that really yet, but I am excited as fuck.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
That could be something really fucking special.
Oh yeah, totally, dude. Yeah, surgical fulfilled in one day. That's what I'm screaming.
Man. Badass.
Dude, those guys all showed up in one van. They all got out. They all fulfilled all at the same time. Just like one guy was.
They are not Mexican. They are not Mexicans. They are Mexicans.
That's how you do it, man.
No, I know not all of them are Mexican, but
I was gonna like.
I'm busting balls.
Ball buster, Brian.
Those dudes are fucking. Their live streams don't get nearly enough attention. I can't tell you how many times like their live streams have literally.
They're entertaining as fuck.
Like,
you know what I mean? They're funny as fuck too. So is Comics Way.
When they do their live stream around Christmas,
they're funny, dude. They're entertaining.
You gotta catch the live streams around Christmas because they do all the like the Mexican Christmas traditional stuff. There's like a sandwich ring involved and everything with like little figurines and stuff hidden inside it. It's really nifty.
Do they play the Cheech and Chong story, Santa Claus?
No.
And I keep waiting. I keep waiting for these guys because they like Ollie knows, Ray knows, all those dudes know. You got a fucking open invitation. Let me know when you want to come on here and like promote your shit.
Oh, yeah, those
and
guys
you know,
hilarious.
we could do a fucking El Santo movie. We could do Santo versus Capulina or Santo versus La Llorona.
It's a bunch of stuff.
Actually, it's Santo and Manticore versus La Llorona, if I'm not mistaken. Manticore was like a box. See, I know all this like
so many movies,
Mexican shit because I love those movies so much. And Ollie fulfilled them fucking one day. Yeah, I mean
that's so funny though. You guys are like showing off your book, and I'm like, wait a minute, I went to the mail today. That was like literally like I had to go in and do so much. My brother showed up. I had to make wings. It was like like as soon as I got home from work, I was like really busy until I came down here, and I was like, oh yeah, I got that out of the mail today. There's other stuff I haven't opened yet.
Yeah, so
it's funny for me because now because of my situation where I'm not buying any. Now when something comes in the mail, I'm like, "Fuck is that?"
Right? Yeah, no.
But it's cool because I'm a broke ass bitch right now.
Like Christmas kind
of. Well, I mean,
I'm getting books that I back when I wasn't a broke ass bitch.
Some of them are things I might have ordered a long time ago, forgot about.
Yeah, no, yeah, totally.
You know, I mean, some of them are gifts, but it's like still, it's like.
Well, I don't know what's going on
in the mail. I'm like, I didn't order it.
I don't know what's going on in your life, Pops, but I had to spend money on a septic tank, and I still managed to back it at least once. These other two backed it 2 times. Like, I got 2 books, and I can't figure out why. You know, this stream needs another guest so that Matt has someone to send his other book to.
Right. I guess it's nice to be making money.
Yes.
Yes.
And also, it's cool to have 2 copies, so you can mail one to somebody that doesn't have a copy.
Yep.
Yeah. In fact, the next time I back a book, I'm going to get 2 of them.
There you go.
And I'm going to wait for Pops to tell me he didn't back it.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Anyway, let's see. So
order it for me in advance.
Yeah.
We got a rip in there.
He's trying to hold his breath.
Yeah, boy.
Trying to hold that rip in hard.
Oh, he does like his weed. No question. Anyway, folks, I think we're going to wrap this up. This has been a lot of fun. We really appreciate you hanging out, as always. So, Matt, your overall impression of the City of the Dead, aka Horror Hotel?
I thought it was really cool, man. Again, like very atmospheric. It's cool seeing Christopher Lee, you know, like OG style. You know what I mean? I loved all like the nods. Again, like it felt like it was nodding to EC or EC, you know, one or the other. It was cool that like it felt like kind of pretty like hardcore for its time in some regards, you know, especially like the intro and like the sacrifice stuff. I mean, they don't really show anything, but the feeling you get, you know. I'd recommend though, dude. Like, and I like the end too, dude, where dude picks up the cross. You know, he's going full John McClane, Die Hard style.
Yeah, man.
You know,
you're like a soldier, man, like a fucking soldier.
I mean, it doesn't need a remake, obviously, but if they did, I would do it in black and white. I'd keep all that eerie, like, you know, like old school horror comic look to it. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to change the black and white. You'd have to keep like that.
Oh, my God.
I would have more fun with the cross stuff. I'd probably make it more like Evil Dead or action horror, where you're just fucking them all up, like just going too crazy with it. So yeah, definitely hard recommend.
Oh my God,
check it out. Yeah. It's only like an hour and 15 minutes. You know.
Yes.
Watch it with the lights off, so you get the full black and white effect.
For sure, because this is a movie that is shot in like a luminous black and white.
Yeah.
And it just looks stunning. This is a movie that you would never want to see in color.
Nah,
it would destroy. It would, yeah,
be gross.
It would be gross.
Yeah.
So much great imagery.
You wouldn't see any of the fog hardly. Like it just looks stupid. It looks so fucking dumb in color.
Right. And goddamn, man, when you know some of the imagery in this is just
like that. Ooh, the framing.
Yeah, is just incredible. It's just a beautiful looking movie.
Yeah.
And it just has a great atmosphere and a great mood.
Set design, like I love how it's got the old Salem houses are just falling apart. You know, it looks like they're just a couple nails, rusted nails, just holding together from like 400 years. You know, love that.
Oh wait a second, just real quick. Maiden Hell says like the cafe in Mad Max. Now I'm not sure what that was in reference to, but Maiden, you're talking about the club where like where people are dancing and they don't have any shoes. They and the chick is singing on the licorice ride. Yeah, sorry everybody. Like Mad Max is my shit.
I gotta rewatch that.
You're making me want to look that up
movie is
now.
dope too.
Fuck the new one. Fuck the new one. The last Mad Max Fury Road. Fuck that shit. That's not a Mad Max movie. It's an Imperator Furiosa movie. Yeah, technically the chases and all that shit is mind-boggling, but it ends up like it ends up being like, dude. I mean, look, how can you get more metal than the guy with the fucking flamethrower?
Right. No, but I know what you're saying. Max took like he was cucked. I mean, physically
totally
cucked in the movie. He's
totally
like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. It is a deliberately feminist movie. You know, I'm not a feminist.
It's the only way to get an Oscar now.
I'm not a feminist. That doesn't mean that you can't make something. It doesn't mean that you can't be a feminist or have feminist politics and not still make a fucking kick-ass movie. But why do you put a feminist message in a fucking Mad Max movie?
Because they can't make a movie called Furiosa Road and expect people to come out and see it. You have to piggyback off of something that
exactly. So that's why I say. That's why I was pissed.
I mean, like for real. I mean, she was good as a. It was a good character. It's just the only problem was that there's. Okay.
Oh, is it really? Oh, I would totally fucking. Oh, dude, if I ever go to Australia, it's like the same thing with England, right? When I go to England, I've got a book, a tour guide of all the locations in Hammer horror movies. That's where I'm fucking going. If I go to Australia, I'm going on a fucking Mad Max tour for fucking shit. That's sacred ground.
I've been down with that Hammer tour. Maybe we could go. We get some chips and some fish and some beer.
Oh, dude, Oakley Court is still there. It's a fucking hotel. If it's not too expensive, we could actually stay in the place where they shot the reptile, Plague of the Zombies, numerous Dracula movies.
Do live stream from there and shit.
Oh, for sure. Oh, that would be so much fucking fun, man. Hell yeah. Yeah,
I gotta.
No, that was the
Immortan
inclusion
Joe
of
or whatever.
the inclusion of Yuki's Burn was one of the things that got me so excited for that movie. And once again, I just left that theater feeling disappointed. More disappointed than I did with Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, which left me feeling crestfallen.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, it's not a bad movie, but remember, I'm like a 15-year-old boy.
No, I know.
I'm a 15-year-old boy, and I go and I get a kinder, gentler Mad Max.
Oh yeah, the first half. For me, I'm just talking about the first half of the movie.
Yeah,
that's the only movie out of the whole trilogy where you see him physically fight that I can remember.
The thing about the first two Mad Max movies is how fucking rough they are.
Yeah, they're rough. They're raw, dude.
And how savage they are.
Yeah.
And how much energy they have. Whereas, the last...
Yeah, the third movie was Mad Max's Ward Cleaver.
Yeah, it was pretty.
It was a different side. I didn't hate it because it wasn't the same.
I've softened on it.
It turns into another movie, dude.
The end of the movie was just as good as the second one because it was still a chase scene, but being on railroad tracks where you really can't turn left or right made it a little bit more interesting. But I have to bail out of here. But I'm glad. Thanks for letting me in. It was a nice respite from everything else.
We're signing off anyway. Tell these fools where they can find you.
ID Crisis Design on Twitter, ID Crisis on YouTube, and you can go to idcrisisdesign.com to check out my website.
All right, dude.
I mean, it's going to be ID Crisis or ID Crisis Design on any social media stuff. But if you're looking for a little bit of an inside baseball on the cars or the specific car they used for the fleet of cop cars in Mad Max. You want to check out Eric Bana's documentary on the Ford Falcon XB called Love the Beast.
Can you drop a link for that?
I'll find it on Real Good and I'll drop it in, sure.
Okay, is that on YouTube?
I don't know. That's why if I drop it in Real Good, you'll be able to find it from wherever it happens to be streaming.
What's it called? Loving the Beast?
Love the Beast.
Love the Beast. I am
2009.
Over. Oh God!
Right now it says it's playing on Fandor. I mean, you can rent it anywhere, really. But let me see. Let me see if I can find it.
I mean, seriously, we're talking like if I ever had fuck you money, I would be very, very careful with it. I wouldn't be extravagant, but I would buy myself a couple of fucking treats, a couple of fucking toys, and one of them would be the fucking V8 Interceptor.
That's a version of it. I didn't like the front end of that. I'm not a big fan of the pointed front end.
It's the V8 Interceptor,
I understand that
the last of the V8s.
The engine, the blower, the blower. Man. I get it. That's amazing. But aesthetically, I'm just saying that Roadrunner front end, it doesn't do it for me. I love the car. But I would put that engine in one of the other cars. The paint jobs were really cool too. Here it is in the private chat. It's
you can't mess with perfection, man. You can't mess with perfection.
Well, it's a Ford anyways, so there's that.
Yeah,
but that's one of the things I like about Australia. The culture of that country is very much Americanized. They love muscle cars. They have their own muscle car. They have their own West.
Yes,
it's like America on the other side of the world. If they could just get out from under that crown.
The way I always heard it described was that, and I think it was George Miller who actually said, "Okay, here's the thing: America has a gun culture. Mm-hmm. Australia has a car culture."
And in that vein, if you want to see the world's fastest Indian. Yeah. That's Burt Munro from New Zealand. He held the land speed record for. He was using a 1928 Indian Scout on the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Nice.
It's a really, really, really good story. I'll just put it in World's Fastest Indian in the private chat. You'll be able to find it.
All right.
Anthony Hopkins played him.
Okay.
And it's a real sleeper. Really good movie that a lot of people don't know about.
Gotcha.
Anyways, that's the last. That's all I got for you. Pops, it was good to see you. Matt, Brian, I got to hang it up and probably get less sleep than I deserve.
All right, man. Good
All right.
seeing you. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Peace.
All right.
And Pops, where can these people find you?
I'm gonna say it like Q does. You can always find me here, in the Madness Comic Book Network.
Hell yeah.
On YouTube.
And Matt, tell these suckers where they can find you and your stuff.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at RuneCutter Comic. If you guys want, you can check out my YouTube channel. It's Metal Movies and Brewskis. And if you guys want to support me and check out my book, Butch Cleaver, it's at butchcleaver.com. It takes you to the Indiegogo page where you can pick up Butch Cleaver 1 or 2. And yeah, thanks for having me on, Brian. I appreciate it, brother.
Oh, dude. No worries. We have to switch to Thursdays because
motherfucker.
We should wear the cone of shame or something. Nah.
Right.
No, Matt, always a pleasure. To me, the stream is all about, me sharing horror movies with you and then seeing what you think of them. And yeah, and Pops, thanks for the because we had to do a little maneuvering.
Hey, it's I'm always gonna find a spot for you guys, and just it's gonna.
Thanks,
happen.
Maiden. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, darling.
Brian, I do want to say now that you've got that one big weight off your shoulders, dude, your spaghetti western show was killing it. You got.
I'm gonna do that again. For sure. Yeah. Because one of the things when I move into my new place is going to be setting up a space specifically for streaming, for getting my stream on, and then I'm just going to take a year off and just fucking belt out comic books.
Yeah,
and,
that's you have to, dude.
Strike while the iron's hot. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know if I could make a career out of this shit right now. It's just a side hustle, but I have to at least give it my best shot and see what happens. What do we watch next week? You think?
You got any ideas?
Not off the top of my head. I can find some, but we could bounce them around in the DM group on the Twitter DM group. Like, hey, how about this? How about this? Yeah, man.
That sounds cool.
All right. Okay. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate you. Smash that like button, smash the subscribe, ring a ding ding dong, the little bell, and Pops, you're gonna take us out?
Yeah, I got a new channel bumper.
Okay.
Nice.
Now look, B. I was trying to get this short enough to make it on Pete Samedi's, show for just one of his random trailers that he plays. But there's so many shows on the network that I couldn't even get them all in.
Wow.
It's like, wow, there's a lot going on over here. But, Morgan Quaid made us a new bumper, so I just want to play it once, and
all right,
then we'll be done,
Okay. All right. Everybody, until we see you next week, peace, love, and metal.
Madness Entertainment Group presents the Madness Comic Network with original programming and additional comic-related content.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.com.